Gotta show him I can still rap though.
Now I'm in the game, I was on the bench. First I was renting, now I'm collecting rent. Run it up. First it with the Beamer, now I want the Benz. Spending all the bag like here I go again. Outside says the chirp, now the camera phone. Told you I'ma make, keep the channels on. Why you acting different when the camera's on? Why you acting different like your paper long? 8 day wake up and I thank God. Bad decision got you wishing you could say nah. My city gritty, you could get hit any day now. On my mama, I'ma move my family way out. With some 20s, 50s, hundreds, thousands, millions, billions, trillions, zillions. I'm talking Amazon money, talking so much money I could mess around and buy Amazon. I been winning, I'm like, why me? I heard these labels wanna buy me. I don't need you, boo, I style me. I roll G's and they grind me. Now I'm on my game, nothing is the same. Who am I to blame? Money made me change. Cardi in my ring when I'm switching lanes. Money in the carry on them Boeing planes. Money in the carry on them Boeing planes. Now I got a buck for all those rainy days. Ain't have a day off in like 80 days. I got hustles in like 80 ways. Kids if he won't take a lazy day. Wifey on me told me take a break. I keep going to the paper straight. Then it's trips out to Montego Bay. If I take the job, bet I get it done. I said it before, I'm a one-on-one. I just caught some ones, only wearing ones. Fornicate the funds, money made me come. Diamonds on your neck, bet they on your neck. You want that watch, you better rock a tech. You want that chain, you better cop a vest. You want that check, but can you make it stretch? Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what? Told ya I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up. I do roll like a Mack truck, country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold-hearted, now I'm back up. Keep it real, I do this once a month, I don't rap much. I just take the money and go stack up. Only buying Carhartt, car to get tatted up. All that other bull, it don't matter much. You only climb me, I put the ladders up. No fault. I done doubled up on the workload. I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, get money, then we lay low. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what? Told ya I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up. Add it up. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what? Told ya I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up.
Gotta show him I can still rap though.
Now I'm in the game, I was on the bench. First I was renting, now I'm collecting rent. Run it up. First it with the Beamer, now I want the Benz. Spending all the bag like here I go again. Outside says the chirp, now the camera phone. Told you I'ma make, keep the channels on. Why you acting different when the camera's on? Why you acting different like your paper long? 8 day wake up and I thank God. Bad decision got you wishing you could say nah. My city gritty, you could get hit any day now. On my mama, I'ma move my family way out. With some 20s, 50s, hundreds, thousands, millions, billions, trillions, zillions. I'm talking Amazon money, talking so much money I could mess around and buy Amazon. I been winning, I'm like, why me? I heard these labels wanna buy me. I don't need you, boo, I style me. I roll G's and they grind me. Now I'm on my game, nothing is the same. Who am I to blame? Money made me change. Cardi in my ring when I'm switching lanes. Money in the carry on them Boeing planes. Money in the carry on them Boeing planes. Now I got a buck for all those rainy days. Ain't have a day off in like 80 days. I got hustles in like 80 ways. Kids if he won't take a lazy day. Wifey on me told me take a break. I keep going to the paper straight. Then it's trips out to Montego Bay. If I take the job, bet I get it done. I said it before, I'm a 101. I just caught some ones, only wearing ones. Fornicate the funds, money made me calm. Diamonds on your neck, bet they on your neck. You want that watch, you better rock it tech. You want that chain, you better cop a vest. You want the check, but can you make it stretch? Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me.
The voice of Master Chief, Spartan 117. And you're tuned in to Next Podcast. Now, wake me when you need me.
Playing that, bro.
But with Dark,
there was
get
no
on that
way I was
PlayStation
playing
chip, I want to play it.
Yeah.
But I just
Yo,
can't.
that sounded like
the
the dude from Hunter x Hunter. Yo, oh man.
It's either that or the other or the one what is those crazy? It's from an anime. It's from that or from the I can't think of the name of them right now.
It's all good, brother. Check this out. Say what's up to the chat. What is going on, people? Because it is Next Podcast, and we are live.
Exotic butters.
Guys, just feel very grateful, blessed even, that you didn't listen to what I had to listen to before we got to this point. When we were behind the scenes, I am envious of you guys right now because you don't have that in your memory. But what is up, people? It is Thursday night. It is Next Podcast. We are ready to go. It is going to be an awesome night. We have so much to talk about. I have so many questions about the gaming community and the gaming topics just rattling around in my brain. Some things I just don't get. Maybe you guys can straighten it out. I will be asking the panel as well. Speaking of the panel, this is also a very special night because it is the last episode of one of the panel members. But let me get into the intros. Let me start with let's see. Let's start close to home. We're gonna start with the creator, dare I say, the inventor of hashtag Crispy Truth. I cannot wait to get into the topics with this dude. Of course, it is Crispy Bomb. What is up, bro?
Oh, what's up? Balmy 40 up in here. Like, ooh, I was smoking some meat today. Like, yeah, let's do it. But
were you smoking some meat like a Twitch streamer? Is what I want to know.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Well, you went there, not me. You see what you did there, bot.
Dude, that's another thing. Well, K-Mega put that out on Twitter.
Than I ever would.
It's K-Mega's fault, man. That's all I gotta say. He put that out on Twitter, and that is something you can never unsee, ever again. So
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that. I didn't know how to respond to that. I was like, yeah,
moving
yeah,
along.
You ain't competing. You ain't competing with that. Like, speaking of competing, there's somebody that's. I'm very disappointed. Very disappointed. But tonight we bid farewell. But for how long? That's the question. But,
oh, oh,
let's get into it.
nice. Yo, shout out to RG Viper X hitting that super chat already. That is right, people. The super chat does work. He says, I'm an island boy. Do you want to be an island boy?
Oh, what?
Dude, I showed my son that. Oh my goodness. It is hilarious.
That's his new jam right now.
Yeah, he's killing it on his forklift at work. He's probably bumping it, Nah, man. He just looked at me like I was nuts. Now I was like, what? But let's go next on the list. Coming live from the 405, and he's just out there trying to compete on Twitch. Of course, it is K Mega. What is going on, bro?
Man, what's up, man? It's gonna be great. You know what I'm saying? My last show and everything.
What?
Yeah, well, you said it was somebody's last, day on the
that wasn't an opportunity for you to jump on that train and take off, bro. I'm sorry, man.
Damn. Okay, but I feel bad now. I feel like now I'm
Exotic butters.
Okay, but whatever, man. What's happening here again? Gonna burn the midnight oil with this fool bot until the wheels fall off, I guess. And so, damn, made my phone talk to me. Anyway, all right, yeah, ready to have a good show. I am. I took the wrong. So if I sound like completely tired, it's because I am. What's crazy is that I was. I have back issues, right? So from injuries I had from work, and so I was taking something for it. So I was given something that was thought to help with my back, but it wasn't, and so that shit has been making me drowsy all damn day. I've been sleeping on and off.
Yo, who gave Mega a couple oxys, man?
No, this shit is more potent than oxys, boy. This boy. I'm like, what is this? But regardless, you know what I'm saying? I'm willing to. It's right. What? It's what?
Not.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Get energy drink or something, man. Like, I think the topics will energize you, bro. I really do.
Yeah. No, I'm good. I'm good.
All right. Well, next on the list, coming from the Lone Star State, you guys might know him as that OnlyFans All-Star, but he comes over here to YouTube every Thursday to hang out with us and you guys. It is Predator. What is up, bro?
This too will be my last show as well.
I'm losing the entire panel, guys. The entire panel is gone. Like,
you got Crispy. You got your boy next door.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the same Viagra that K Mega was just taking to put him to sleep. I make shit pop.
Giggity.
You know giggity. Yo, happy to be here, man. Sorry, Dark, you're leaving. We're gonna miss you, but you'll be back.
Wow, another person. He'll be back. Well, guys, the man of the show tonight, coming from the West Coast, complete with his scuba gear on, because you never know. You never know when California is going to fall into the Pacific Ocean. It is his last show, regrettably. But I got to say, I feel like a proud father giving his daughter away at a wedding, so this way he doesn't have to deal with that headache anymore. It is Dark Optimus. What is up, bro?
Oh, hi. Thanks for checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage.
Yeah, I'm definitely not going to miss any of you fuckers. I'm just saying right now. No, man, I'm happy to be here, dude. I do know where to find you. I know where to find Daddy. I do.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
But yeah, man, I mean, I'm happy to be here. I know, it is my last show. I'll explain that. Hopefully, maybe by the end of the show, I'll explain why I'm taking my leave. I'm not gonna say it's completely like my last show for podcasting, but it is for a good while.
Nope. He'll be on Crossfire tomorrow, people.
He'll be on Brap's.
He'll be on Brap.
Podcast.
He'll be like, yo, Brap's on Wednesday. I can do Wednesday. I can do Wednesday.
He's got to go be a pony for a while. It's
right? Yeah. He's got to convert and get his pony wings. Right? You know what I'm saying?
I like how Microsoft is Activision. All of a sudden, he wants to leave and shit.
Right.
Yeah, because that's totally what it is. It's because of Activision. I'm so fucking
betrayal.
It's not even funny.
All right, guys, we got to get into it, and why not start with let's start with Sifu real quick. Now, for people who have been following me on social media, I posed one question on Twitter, one question that I swear it was like it went viral. Like, so many people responded to it with a lot of hate, a lot of whataboutisms, a lot of I can't have my opinion. And my question I put out there was, who would pay $40 for a game that has 5 levels? That's all I said. That's all I said. Of course, they knew I was talking about Sifu, right? And I was hoping to get some responses on why it is so good, but man, people just swerved into even trying to say that Halo was a $60 game with 1 level, and I guess these people don't know the difference between a level and a world. All right, because Halo has 1 world with many levels in it, but like it's not 1 level. But I digress on that. But I did not play Sifu. I don't have a PlayStation, but I did look into it in terms of gameplay and such. And this game really boggles my mind. These Sony extremists out there are really kind of like championing this game. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, it's not a pony game. It's not a pony-worthy game because the graphics aren't absolutely spectacular when it comes down to it. It's got basically, if you know the game Absolver, it's got basically Absolver type graphics, but now the people actually have a face to it. And it's a game that's focused on the fighting, right? So I was looking at the fighting as I was watching this gameplay, and I saw the main character do a complete 180 without moving his feet. He just slid around 180 wise. When I see him jumping over like desks and stuff like that, it's really janky. When he goes to block, the animations are really clumsy. And I understand it's a smaller game, but they obviously aren't spending their budget on graphics. And if you're going to focus so much on the fighting as an art form type situation that this game is doing, you would think that they would put more time, effort, and detail into the animations and kind of like the body contact and stuff like that. So even if this game was coming out on Xbox first, there is no way in hell I am spending $40 on what I have seen from this game. Now, great thing is Xbox does have a thing called Game Pass, and I would try it to see how it feels, but people are telling me I should not have an opinion because I haven't played the game. Anybody on the panel played Sifu? Anybody?
No.
Really?
You got that crickets shit there, K-Mega?
I do. I just gotta go find it.
Yeah, it might be a few pages in on that soundboard. You know what I'm saying? Oh!
There we go.
There we go.
It's hard. It's hard to work a soundboard.
All right. Well,
it is.
Yo, Dark. Let me go to you first. I was gonna go to K Mega, but it's your night. It's your night, Dark. Dark.
Is it? It doesn't feel like it. I'm just saying.
Well, you know you're gonna get your balls busted. Come on now.
Yeah, I know. It's
Dude,
always
we
fun.
treat you like a family member.
He's
not.
going to be in an.
If you do your family members like this, I'm concerned for your
Dude,
family members. I'm just saying.
The kids that I raised, I raised them calling them crackers. Okay,
That's true. That is true.
think about that, dude. Think about that. But, dude, what do you think? Like, first off, why aren't you playing Sifu? You have a PlayStation 5. Yo,
Uh-huh.
Chris Hart says it's a masterpiece. It's an
Uh-huh.
absolute masterpiece. Like, dude, why aren't you playing it, man?
Just don't have time for it, man.
Did you buy it?
Busy, dude. No, I didn't buy it. I
Next
just
time.
it's not here's the thing. There's one thing they didn't explain about that game is that it's a roguelike. And you know how I feel about roguelikes. I
You
fucking
love
hate
Returnal.
them.
You love Returnal.
Oh yeah, yeah, I love that game. It's so great. And I know that it's a little bit different than something like Returnal. You know, I know that it's more melee combat and all that shit, but it just it interested me because of the martial arts. But then, like when I was like looking at how the game looked and played, I was like, just not. Yeah, not
Do you
feeling
see
it.
what I did you see what I saw in terms of like the gameplay and stuff like that? Please let me know, man.
I mean, I've seen videos and stuff, but I haven't seen like the things that you're talking about. I mean, I don't really I guess I just don't look in depth like that like you do. I know you tend to look at every aspect, and I'm not really like that. I just look at the gameplay and think, oh, okay, if it looks good, if it looks fun, then I'll play it. But this one just didn't. As soon as because I started looking it up. That's when I started looking it up, and I was like, should I buy Sifu? Should I get it? Should I even attempt it? And then I saw that it's a roguelike, and I was like, yeah, no, no. Um, already made that mistake once already with Returnal, and not doing it again. Yeah, it just doesn't. That kind of stuff just doesn't appeal for me. I understand that people do like that kind of stuff, and that's fine, man. Great, awesome, play it, have fun, but don't ridicule me because I don't like that kind of stuff. You know,
Yeah, now
that's really all I want to say about it.
Dark, when it comes down to it, I got to ask you this before we move on. And yes, Blue Moon, I am going to K Mega next. I do realize he is the fighter gamer in on this panel. Although Crispy will tell you he plays Mortal Kombat, but
He does. I've seen pictures.
I gotta ask you, Dart. I was told that I cannot have an opinion of this game because I didn't play it. And by that logic, I saw what people tweeted me about that, and I'm like, but with that logic, nobody can ever get hyped about a game. Nobody can ever criticize a game. Like when people were criticizing, Halo on its first showing, they really couldn't do that because nobody played the game. So, dude, can people have an opinion about a game before they have gone in and tried it out for themselves?
I think people can have an opinion about it. I think people can have, you know, like I had an opinion about it already. Like it's stating, oh, it's a roguelike. Nope, not for me. I already knew going in that it wasn't going to be for me, and it doesn't change my mind about it. Even though I see people enjoying it, I like watching people enjoy things, but I know they do take it
Yeah,
to an
you do.
extreme.
I was gonna say, Ped's OnlyFans. I see it right there.
I know. I set myself up for that one. But yeah, I think in terms of this type of game, I understand that people are enjoying it. I like seeing on Twitter, people posting up, you know their fights with the bosses and with the ads or whatever, those fucking semi characters or whatever. um it's just I don't know, man. It doesn't appeal to me like I think other games. Like I want to play Horizon, not gonna have time to play it though. So it's just one of those things right now. I just don't have time for it.
I got you, bro. I got you. And speaking of guys, the game that I'm playing right now, it's in Game Pass. It just went into Game Pass. It's called SKUL Skull. It is really fun. This is a fun game. Like your character, as you come across different skulls, you can put them on your head. You can exchange your skull for that skull and get kind of like different powers. It is a platformer, so if you do like platformers and you're on Xbox, I definitely suggest giving this game a try. It is a lot of fun. But let's go to K Mega. K Mega, you heard all the business, man. We're talking about Sifu here. You are a fighter. I think you expressed some interest in this game. What do you think from the gameplay we saw? And dude, is it on PS4?
It is, yeah.
It is on PS4, yeah. It is.
And you have a PS4, right?
Right.
So, are you planning on picking it up? What's going on?
And I got a PC, but yeah, no, I'm not paying $40 for that game.
And why not, man? What's going on?
Well, it's just for one, I think roguelike games are all right, but I'm not. It's just kind of like what Dark was saying. Like, I got so much to play right now. Look, I just got finished beating Yakuza and then I got that feeling, and so I got that vibe. So I'm now playing the first Kwame game. So
nice.
so like I'm investing into that. Then on top of that, like, there's still Halo to be played. There's still other stuff to be played. So to me, it's like, look, and then there's Crossfire X, which I downloaded and played a little bit last night. And then another game that I bought because I was having a choice. I had to make a decision on what I wanted to get. Was Lost Ark, that's on PC.
Which is I heard about that one.
Absolutely amazing game. Like I love it. It's like Black Desert with a story mode. And so it's the only thing is that the character models is not is close. It's because it's kind of like almost like a top down, so they're kind of farther away. But man, that game is really, really pretty. And then the story seemed to be fleshing out for whatever I played. I'm finna definitely show some gameplay of that tomorrow night. But yeah, no, I mean, Sifu has been on my radar. But yeah, the $40 price tag is just not is not for me, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? I just wouldn't. And people know I play a little bit of any and everything. It doesn't matter what platform it's on. But because I wanted to find out, how long was this game? What was this game going to be like? And it was just kind of like you said, like Absolver. Absolver had a lot of potential. It was cool. I tried to want to play that with other people in Fight Night when I first started Fight Night. They didn't even care to want to play it. So for this game, I think it's got a lot of potential. It looks cool. But yeah, no, that $40 price tag, and you know how I am. I've said this a million times. Look, Resident Evil Village, I heard it's like 8 to 10 hours. You want me to pay $70 plus for it? 60 plus for it? No, I'm not. I'll wait till it drops down in price. And so the same thing will happen with this game. There's too many games that I have in my backlog that I could play right now for free because I've already bought them. But that I don't have to pay anything for. Instead of me paying for this game, and let's say that I get pretty good at it and I beat it within a 6-hour time frame. Like, I'm going to be feeling like, damn, I could have paid extra on some DLC. I could have bought the Dawn of Ragnarok DLC that's coming out for Valhalla, which that's going to be a 40 to 100 hour DLC. So hell no, I'm not doing that. I wasn't. When you made the point, I got it. You know what I'm saying, and I understood with some people when they were pressing you about what you were saying. I got some of the rap venom. I understood it, but then again, it's kind of like, but this man's asking a question. Why is it that his question is turned into, like you said, these what-isms? What about this and what about that? Yeah, the what about it? To me, it's kind of like no. Keep it about this game right here and give give a true testament of why this game is worth $40 instead of just the old saying, stand hype. When it comes down to the come down, there's only going to be a few people that bought it, a few people that beat it, and it just turns into just one of these other things where people just overhype something just to get that game to look like it's going to be better than what it actually is. And once it comes to Xbox, okay, because it's a timed exclusive, they're not going to say shit else about it. So that to me is what I'm saying. Look, if you're a staunch lover of Sifu, then hopefully when it jumps over to Xbox, and you'll be like, oh, you'll see what we're talking about, and there'll only be a few of them. The loudest protagonist out there that keeps on trying to talk the loudest about these games because they're exclusive only to one platform, 9 times out of 10, they don't finish them or they don't even play them. They just talk about them, and then that's it. So for me, no.
You are reminding me of when Christopher Hart started posting stuff about Destiny 2, and I caught him out on that, because in Destiny 2 we are in the longest season in Destiny history, right? When from the point where they started seasons, this has been a crazy long season, kind of like leading up to Witch Queen. And he showed his Guardian, and his Guardian has what they call blue gear on. Blue gear is low level gear that is given to you in the beginning of your grind to help you power up quicker. And I'm like, dude, you haven't been playing Destiny 2. The only reason why you're playing it now is because of the Sony Bungie kind of like collaboration and deal that's going on. Because, dude, you're not even in legendary armor yet. Like, come on, bro. Come on.
That's what a lot of these guys do, man. They just do that shit.
Yeah, they cap. They do a lot of capping. Like, I mean, listen. Like, I remember somebody was coming to me when I showed that I bought the whole collection of Yakuza. I'm going to spend that type of money. Well, I mean, they were on sale, so it wasn't like I bought them all at $60 a piece. But they were on sale for, like, some of them was $4, some of them was $7 or whatever. There was others that was $10, $14, right? Like, so again, I bought the whole series, even the Judgment, because I'm like, I want to go through all these because I remember playing the one on the on the PlayStation 3, and then come to find out it wasn't even the one that I actually played. It was the one I played on the PlayStation 3 had Samurais, and it was back in feudal Japan. And then I looked, I said, where's this game at? And it was, and when I looked on Amazon, it was $100. I said, oh shit, see, now I shouldn't have traded that game in, which me and Don talked about that on Devin the Gamer yesterday. But regardless, this thing to me is like, if I'm investing into something, if there's something I really want to play, I will get it, right? But Sifu was one of those games that I looked at, was like, oh man, you know what? I'll wait for that game if it was 30, I probably would have gave it a wink and would have like, you know what? I might risk it all for that. 20 apps, 25, 25 less, absolutely would have bought it day one. But you're talking about $40 for a game that is going to be Souls-like or rogue-like or whatever the hell like, that is completely different from what, because everybody knows I'm not a fan of Soul-like games and rogue-like games. They're cool, but you know what? There's only a certain few of those type of games that I can really get into. Nex Machina is one of them. I really, really enjoy Nex Machina, and that's why I think Returnal will be a game that I can get into. But like Hades, I'm not a fan of Hades. I bought Hades. I got Hades on the PC. I like it, but it's like, no, I get frustrated once I get past 3 bosses and then I die and then I got to start off. Man, I ain't trying to start all over. I want to just get the moving.
I ain't about that life. I ain't about that life. You know what I'm saying? So, everybody plays things different, and I know from what I've seen, there was some really cool animations with the combat that I dig. I keep hearing a lot of people get their ass kicked in the club or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But the thing to me is like, look, it looks fun, but if somebody's saying, look, this price is a little bit too steep for my blood, nobody should knock them for it, because people don't want to be knocked about paying $70 for something. You know what I'm saying? So why are you trying to knock somebody when they say, look, I had
this
people saying that they would pay
blood.
70, they would pay 120, and I'm like,
really? They wouldn't.
Now.
And let's not forget, a lot of those people that's capping too, they got free copies, because those free key copies were being pushed out. I know that for a fact because I tried to get me one, but they said deny because you're not a PlayStation dude. So that's okay. So I'm cool with that. But that's a lot of things too what people have to pay attention to. A lot of these people get these games for free, and then they tout them to the utmost, highest, whatever the hell they can be, because they have to solicit so they can get the next free game too. You got to pay attention to the game, people. Listen, when that game drops, and if you don't hear those same people talking about it anymore, you know that they were frauding the public.
The game I'm playing right now, all right, that is a masterpiece in my opinion.
Sounds great. Yeah, absolute classic. Yes.
Castlevania Lord's Shadow, yo, my favorite game from the 360 era. Yo, first off,
that is a good fucking game, dude.
Oh my, the twist at the end, just like it blew my mind, dude. Blew my mind. I sat there with my controller. I like paused it and I stared at my screen. I'm like, holy crap. Yo, shout out to Ice Queen Gaming. She says that she plays Destiny. Her hunter is level 1320 at the moment. Yo, good job getting ready. Yo, are you getting ready for Witch Queen? Are you getting the expansion? I think my hunter, and this is because I only really play as the hunter. I think mine's at like 1346 or so, something like that. But Ice Queen, you know me. You've seen how many hours I played that game. I have a tendency to no life it, yeah.
My hunter was, my Titan, I think it was 1200 something, and then I just said I give up. I'm
done. I'm done. Fuck this shit, I'm out. All right. Well, real quick before I move on, K Mega, another thing that was said to me was I shouldn't be critical of the game because it's an indie game from a smaller developer, and I could on social media, I could hurt them in terms of making any money back on their small game for kind of like their development team to grow. And I was like,
"Well, you know, Bot, you're the big man on campus, bro."
I guess. Well, I didn't know that, but all right.
No, nobody didn't give two shits about that when they talked about Sea of Thieves when it first jumped on there. Nobody gave two shits about Recore because that was
Battletoads.
The Battletoads. Hell, people are already
Crossfire
going crazy. I was just gonna say Crossfire X. People are dogging the shit out of Crossfire X right now. So, and I mean. You know, listen, there's plenty of games that they called out and called it Game Pass fodder. And there's really good games out there from indie developers, but just for anybody that used that term Game Pass fodder or welfare gaming, what do you think that you're doing when you say that? So that's that's the thing right there where you just can't, you got to pay attention to how they act, not what they say. Because when they say these things, when they're upset about something, because they all want a dogpile. If you notice, that community always want to find an enemy. When things are dry, bro, when things are, it's been dry for them. They haven't had shit to talk about except for they've been talking about Horizon Forbidden West since the summer. And the game still ain't out yet. And now they're talking about it, but they haven't been able to talk about nothing. They tried to do it with Deathloop, but then the reality came in that Deathloop really wasn't their jam. So then it just got dry, and so everything else they had to find an enemy. They had to find somebody
Uncharted
that made
remastered collection for a little bit there.
You know what they talk? Yeah, check it out. Yeah, right. The movie and now
I heard most people got the Uncharted collection because they wanted the movie ticket. Because they didn't want to pay for the movie ticket. Because they didn't want to pay for the movie ticket. I was like, oh.
They also like, remember when they used to say, well, you don't talk about old games. How many times have I seen somebody talk about the Steam numbers of God of War? Stop it. Stop capping. Y'all, that's what I'm saying. Like, and then now let somebody say something that they don't like, and then they're going to retweet it, put it into the little fandom, and then let's go after him, guys. We got him. Oh my God, he's talking about small developers. They want to find an enemy all the time. They can't talk about the games themselves for the most part, so they have to find an enemy so they can get their fan base riled up and then hype up the game. So it's ridiculous to me. It is sad for the PlayStation community that actually play these games and they go out there and they show that gameplay and they do what they're supposed to do, as a part of the gaming community. But when they have all these other people that just want to rip people because of whatever, it deflates everybody, because you're going to have people now that when that game come to Xbox, because there was so many people talking so much shit about Sifu and how it's the best thing next to sliced bread, and they were disrespectful to people when they said that they'll just rather wait for it to come to Game Pass. I guarantee you there's going to be people that ain't going to even fuck with the game. And that to me is the problem overall.
I got you, bro. I got you. Yo, shout out to Dragonheart Yobi a member of this channel for 2 months. I think he's throwing a little something in my direction. He said
he
fake
throwing that draft.
neutral. Fake neutral, bro. Again, God of War 3 Remastered, one of my favorite PlayStation games. I just call it how I see it. Yo, Albert
I mean,
G,
you used to call yourself King Neutral, so I'm just saying.
I am King Neutral, is what I am.
No, you're not.
Again, I just call it how I see it. That means I will talk shit about any platform, any game that I
You're
see.
definitely not King
Yo,
Get him.
Albert wants me to talk about. See, I can't read this too well. I think he wants me to talk about how Sony might be getting into third party by buying Bungie and letting them do all of their projects multi-platform. I think that's what he's talking about. And Albert, I hope you can stay for the Activision discussion we're gonna have as well, bro. But it is good to see you in the chat, man. All right. Let's see here. Sifu. Let's go to Crispy on this one. Crispy, you heard everything I've said. You've heard the comments I've gotten, dude. What do you think about Sifu? Did it ever kind of like spark your interest? And have you seen gameplay? Have you seen what I've seen when it comes to the gameplay on such a combat focused game?
I mean, I've watched enough people. Like I said, watched, not I didn't play the game. Yeah. Well, you know what? Bob? I mean, I'll give it its due diligence and say I haven't played it. The one thing that I'm interested in is the amount of time it takes for somebody that's skilled at the game to beat it, which is very slim to none, less than an hour.
Dude, people
so
beating it in 40 minutes.
Okay, but there's also people that are saying that it's extremely hard.
Mhm.
It's like if you took Souls and a brawler and had a baby with some Returnal elements in there. I feel
I'm glad you
like
said Returnal. I thought you were going somewhere else, and I'm like, uh-oh.
well, let's be honest. I feel like if Sony actually like looked at this game and said like we're trying to make some kind of new genre, especially it being third person at times,
But it's not a
also
Sony
first
game, dude.
person.
I'm just saying it's not a Sony game.
No. But they have touted this as being, a part of their first party exclusive,
But it's
timed
not.
exclusive.
It's timed.
It's
I mean,
still,
Dark's not wrong
if it's
there.
timed,
It is timed.
if it's timed with Sony nowadays, they consider it exclusive. I mean, are we wrong about this? Because I've seen enough of it to say, nah, they consider it exclusive.
It's exclusive
Yes,
until it comes on Xbox.
Yeah, exactly. And everybody's still waiting for Final Fantasy, right? So, let's look at it this way. They didn't do anything to help this developer, and I think they have something that could be special. But the problem is that nobody's looking at it. And then you throw a $40 price tag on there. And this is where the argument of Game Pass versus a $40 price tag. Well, I believe the Ascent is probably going to be $40 when it comes out on PS. And it's not worth it. But I did enjoy the Ascent. I had issues with not being able to do certain things, like, change, my sensitivity and stuff like that, because the twin sticks drove me crazy. I feel like, if they correct this, if they bring it into their, PS Now, Spartacus, whatever it may be, at that certain point in time, because I feel like they got to roll it out soon or they're going to be dead in the water. If they do that, hopefully they have some corrections. And I look at, the gaming space at this point, and I say, if I haven't played a game, I look at it and I say, how do people really feel about it? The people that are playing the game, how I see. The graphics don't look great, okay? But I'm not all about graphics.
On what game?
On Sifu. Yeah, it doesn't look great. At the same time, I also have in the back of my head how many times it's graphics. It's Game Pass fodder. How many times have I heard that in my life? Well, you know what? It's not Game Pass fodder because you're paying $40. Okay. So you can't say that. You know, you have to say this has to be at least a AA, like good timed exclusive game. And there's just too many thoughts going on here. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm talking about from PlayStation gamers that are actually playing it. It's great. It's the greatest thing in the world. It is just horrible. It's too hard. It is graphically just unappealing. I don't like watching it. I can't play it because it has a story to it and it just doesn't make sense to me. There's all kinds of things that I'm seeing, and I'm like, if I were a PlayStation gamer, I would not pay $40 for this. And I had all kinds of hate too, bot, just to let you know. So, and it's only because, like, dude, we're gonna go into another topic, and you're gonna be surprised. So, all I gotta say is, if you enjoy the game, enjoy it. I got no problem with it. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, like for somebody like me, this is not selling me a PlayStation 5, and this is not me pulling out of the closet the old PlayStation 4 that even my girlfriend's son hasn't touched in like a year now. So what do you want me to say? Like, it's just not doing it for me. You know, I'm looking for multiplayer. That's the way I am. I love playing against people that are human beings that I can talk to. That is a strange thing for some people. I get it. That's fine. I play single player. I played Fallout so many times. I put myself on, you know, offline on Xbox just to play it. But at the end of the day, I always go back to my multiplayer, and that's what I enjoy. And this is just, it's not selling me the console. It is not the greatest thing in the world. I'm sorry.
I got you, bro. I got you. And we got to get Predator in on this real quick. Pred, it's on PC. So I don't know how you feel about like old kung fu movies or whatnot, but a lot of people kind of compare it to that. What's the deal, man? Are you thinking about getting it? What's going on here, bro?
Nope, not gonna get it. Wasn't interested in it. I knew it was coming on PC. I knew it was coming on Xbox later. Even if I had a PlayStation, still I would still probably not buy that game. I'm just not interested in it at all. So, I mean, I've looked at some gameplay of it. It looks okay. You know, I started seeing like, you know, I didn't know it was a roguelike either. I think Dark said that earlier. I didn't know that, but and I don't like those type of games either. But I say that as I just fucking pre-order Elden Ring. But
Well, Elden Ring's not a roguelike, so
I know, but it's a Souls like, you know, it's one of those games. I don't like Souls games either. So, but I mean, I just wasn't interested in the game. I didn't hear enough about it. There wasn't enough that sparked my interest in it. $40 isn't too steep for me, but it's just like K Meg was saying, I got games I gotta play it. I haven't even beaten yet. Like I still have not finished Cyberpunk. You know, I got some other PC games I've not touched. I've got, you know, I got shit in fucking Game Pass I haven't touched. You know, it's like so. And I realized like about this time last year, I was like, I was just buying games just because they were new. And even though I wasn't gonna play them, I knew I wasn't gonna finish them. I stopped thinking like that. So I'm like, I'll buy it when I'm ready to play it. You know, and by then it'll probably be on sale. It'll be cheaper. You know, instead of spending $40 at launch to let it sit and on the shelf for 2 months, I'll just buy it when I'm ready to play it. You know, and I hear more about it, and maybe the DLC comes out. Maybe in some cases they'll actually fix the game. I'm not saying this game's broken, but like, you know, like I'm thinking of Battlefield right now, but like, you know, maybe in 2-3 months the game will be fixed when I decide to play it. You know, so like, so it doesn't make any sense to me as a consumer now. It has nothing to do with the console it's on. It has nothing to do with the game in general. But if I'm gonna buy games going forward, if I'm not gonna play it the day it comes out, then I'm not gonna buy it. You know, I'm not gonna waste my money on it because I can get it cheaper at a time I'm actually willing to play it and put my time and effort into it. It makes no sense for me to buy this game at $40, even $70 right now if I know I'm not going to pick up the controller and play it, and knowing that in 2 months that game will be $20 in the bargain bin somewhere, or it'll be on Game Pass at some point. You know, like I don't see the point of buying it at any price if I'm not gonna, especially I'll say the launch price. I'll say it that way. knowing damn well that it's gonna go on sale by the time I decide to get onto the game. So, um, it has nothing to do with the gameplay. I've not watched a lot of the game. It has nothing to do with me being an Xbox fanboy, anything like that. It's just, I'm not gonna play the game right now if I bought it. It would just sit there. So if I really want to play the game on PC, I'll pick it up in 2 or 3 months when I have nothing to do and play it then. But it just doesn't make any sense to do it right now. So
I got you,
it
bro.
is what it is.
I got you. I got you. Yeah, and I just had an epiphany before we move on to the next topic. I just realized something because I've seen it all day today, and I've even seen it in the chat. People talking about Game Pass as like welfare gaming and stuff like that. There are some really salty Sony extremists out there because when it comes to the Xbox side of things, getting games like the Show 22 that's coming out this year in Game Pass day and date, man, I can tell that these gamers are really pissed off that they still got to throw down $70 and while the games that are coming out in Game Pass, like we're getting them with our subscription. So technically, they're not free, people. I pay $15 a month for Ultimate Game Pass. All right, but I can tell these people are really salty that they got to throw down $70. They'll say that they don't care. They'll act like they got money. But these are the same people that also said that they have $5,000 PCs and stuff like that, and they didn't really need an Xbox. And then when it comes down to it, you never see them
Holla at me when you're paying
PC.
$70 for Call of Duty next year.
What happened?
Right.
Holla at us when we're paying $70 for Call of Duty.
Holla.
Yeah, but definitely do it though. But definitely do it and buy those skins because every time you do that, once this deal is finalized, every time you do that, you're gonna help fund Xbox exclusive games. So I would really, first off, I'm gonna thank you ahead of time, and then I'm really gonna tell you that you got to get those new skins. That skin that you really want, you don't know about, pick it up when it happens. Pick it up, pick up the game. Really invest in Call of Duty in the future. I will be very appreciative about that.
And on
that. But guys, speaking of Call of Duty, right? Let's get into this whole Activision thing because it came out. There was an interview with one of the guys from Microsoft and talking about this Activision deal that's still pending. It's still ongoing. They're reviewing. Government's reviewing it, all that good stuff to make sure there's no antitrust, no monopoly, stuff like that. So within that, in the interview, it was stated that basically popular titles from Activision and Blizzard, like Xbox, wants to keep on the PlayStation and even bring them to the Nintendo Switch, and people took that and ran with it. Like every single game is going to be multi-plat, and they started talking about Xbox going third party, and again, I just started scratching my head, like, where did these guys jump to this conclusion? Now, I'm going to throw my opinion out here real quick. They said popular titles, so Call of Duty is number one on that list. But then, what qualifies for a popular title after that? Is Crash Bandicoot popular? With what it sold, I believe. It didn't sell like astronomically, but it is a
like 2 to 4 million.
But it's a well-known name. So is it popular in terms of sales? Is it popular in terms of being kind of like an icon in the industry? Because if that's the case, what about Spyro the Dragon? And the thing here that not too many people are talking about is what is that definition of popular. And again, Microsoft and Xbox, when it comes down to it and they're in interviews and they got to make a statement, they are picking their words very carefully. All right. And you guys can say this is all BS. You can say, Xbox is talking out of his ass, but time will tell. And I really feel that when it comes down to it, they're mainly talking about Call of Duty here, possibly Overwatch. But I feel like every other title, everything else that's going on out there, it's basically going to be on platforms that have Game Pass, and that's it. That's pretty much it. But again, they're going to talk nice and vague when they're talking, when you got the government dipping their fingers in there and investigating what's going on. Oh yeah, no, we want to make sure the popular titles, stay on these platforms and spread over to Nintendo as well. We're gonna ask Nintendo, hey, do you guys want that Call of Duty? What's going on? What do we got to do here? But don't take this as Xbox is going third party, and definitely don't take this as all Activision and Blizzard games moving forward will all be multiplat. That's my thoughts on this. Let's go to Predator. Pred, what do you think about what was said in this interview and kind of like the reaction and Xbox is going third party, man? What are your thoughts here, bro?
I think, like I said, the wording is really important here.
It's
so
very important.
I think Call of Duty will stay multi-plat in some shape or form. Whether it's Warzone or whatever, it's going to stay multi-plat. The thing that people aren't realizing is they don't say when those games will come to the other consoles. Like they could pull day and date with Xbox and a year, 6 months, 3 months, with the other consoles.
See,
they could do that.
The only problem with that is Phil Spencer, like in the past, has kind of like frowned on that whole thing. And,
yeah, but things have changed. So,
but then people
because keep in mind, that's how they did. That's how Sony did Xbox when they had Call of Duty. They made us wait for what? Like some of that shit. Like I mean, getting Destiny mixed up with Call of Duty right now, but I think some of the stuff with Call of Duty, it took a year to come on Xbox, right?
Oh
yeah,
and some things didn't even come.
Didn't even come.
There was a mode for Cold War that didn't.
So they kept specific things off of Xbox, the Xbox platform. So like that,
it was like a horror that they kept.
Same
with every
energy, right? So like, I mean, I get. We'll put it on there, eventually. Don't say when. That's the biggest thing people aren't looking at. And like you were saying, like of all of Activision's games, what are on console? Call of Duty, Overwatch, Crash, everything else is on PC.
Spyro the Dragon.
Spyro. But when was the last fucking Spyro game?
Dude, I have the last one that was made.
Yeah, it was a long time ago though, right? So like, it wasn't like it's not like they like the franchise is like an ongoing, like a yearly franchise, like Call of Duty is, right? And same with Crash. Like Crash came out in like what 2020, the last one. And before that was like 2008 or some shit like that. Like, I mean, like they're not making Crash games every month, every year. So like, so you're basically talking about 2 games. Overwatch 2, which is already like in the works of getting made anyway. So they have to honor that. But like, if they don't make an Overwatch 3, that kills that noise. It's like, so the only thing they're talking about right now is Call of Duty. Everything else is like you look at all their PC games, somebody help me out here on top of my head.
Warcraft.
Warcraft. Is that on Xbox?
No.
Is that on PlayStation?
No.
What
StarCraft.
Else? StarCraft. Is that on Xbox?
No.
Nope.
Is that on PlayStation?
No.
Nope.
No. So like you're basically talking about PC games. They're gonna stay on PC and Xbox if they decide to bring the Xbox. They don't have to bring those games to PlayStation. Like they don't have to bring those games. Are never gonna play on fucking the Switch. We can call that out right now. But like they're not talking about those games. Those games will remain where they're at, and they'll make a port or whatever to Xbox. But everything else is like Call of Duty. I'll even throw Spyro in there, which they got to make it first. There's no Spyro in the works that I know of. Anybody? Nobody. So there's no Spyro coming out right now. They're not talking about making that game. The only games they got coming out on consoles is Overwatch, Call of Duty.
Diablo.
Oh, Diablo. Yeah.
I take that back. Diablo. And that was already in the works before Microsoft bought them. So
and maybe what was it? Skylanders. They might bring that back.
But there's nothing being made right now.
Right. I'm just doing it. Yeah.
Back, right? So we're only talking about games that are actually in production right now. They've already have franchises that have been consistently making games for. Original Diablo came out when?
Oh shit.
And they're just not making Diablo 2. So how long do you think it's gonna take for them to make Diablo 3? There's a lot of shit getting happen between 2.
Well, it's Diablo 4.
Diablo
They're on
4.
Diablo 4,
Okay.
yeah.
When's the last time when was the last Diablo that came out?
Diablo
That wasn't a
3.
remaster.
Diablo 3.
I'm asking
Yeah,
just
but
for like,
do
I don't
you
need
know
you to give me an answer,
around
but
when
like,
that dropped? Yo, anybody in the chat, you can answer
For
this as well.
console, it dropped like for PC it dropped 2012, 2011, and then for console it was 2015, 2016, somewhere around there.
so you're looking at 7 years between Diablo 4 and Diablo 5. Let's look at it that way. If we're just throwing averages out there, maybe 5. We'll give them 5 years, right? So like, there's no guarantee Microsoft has to do that shit in 5 years. There's no telling what the fuck's gonna happen in 5 years with the console space at that point in time. So like, you can't bank on the next Diablo coming there either. So and all the other PC games are PC games. They don't have to do that. So like, you're really only looking at like 2 games. Call of Duty and Overwatch 2. And outside of that, fuck you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Outside
good
of that,
luck, you know what
anything
I'm saying?
goes, man. Like,
And the thing is, like, they're not talking about future games that are unannounced either. They're only talking about ongoing games, like games that like they're there now.
yeah, that they're
So
popular. That's the key
yeah,
word
so
there is
popular games.
popular, and
Yeah.
it's like, well,
So what
what's the
happens is
definition?
Activision has this fucking banging ass fucking RPGs coming out or that no
Dude,
one knows
Blizzard
about.
is working on
And
a new survival game. It's not
yeah, so
popular.
like,
It's new.
right. So I mean, so people are like, we kind of discussed this a couple of weeks ago. Like, you're gonna get your Call of Duty. That would be stupid if Microsoft to pull that off fucking PlayStation. I think
Thank
just
you.
the money involved in that, just like
Mhm.
just like the fan base is like, like it'd be crazy for them to pull that off of PlayStation. But like everything else, Overwatch 3, we might not see that till 2028. You know what I'm saying? So like, you'll get Overwatch 2, you'll get the updates. You can buy the skins if you're on PlayStation. We'll take your money. But like, if there's an Overwatch 3, which there's no guarantee there'll be that at this point, they could just use those assets and make a completely different franchise and call it something completely different.
Like Apex.
Yeah, right. Like
Yeah.
Overwatch Apex. Yeah, like this. Like, you're not getting this one. Like, I mean, like like there's so many within the wording. There's so many different ways they could do this right now. And like I said, you're gonna get your Call of Duty. I can promise you that. They're not gonna take that off PlayStation because they want that money. They want you to buy those skins. They want you to fucking spend that bread. But outside of that, in Overwatch 2, there's no guarantee any of those other games are ever coming to PlayStation. Just fucking suck it up. Like, it ain't
Yeah,
happening. And right now, like, we can talk and we play this game right now, but as soon as that deal's done, they're gonna have a fucking announcement. They're gonna have a little meeting, and somebody's gonna come out from fucking Michael Barr's gonna come out, and he's like, "Yeah, our games are staying on Xbox."
Or games.
Like they did with Cinemax and Bethesda. They're gonna come out after that fucking ink is signed and be like, "Oh, by the way, we ain't bringing you shit." Like, we'll be Call of Duty. Y'all ain't getting shit else out of that.
That's gonna be dirty, man. Like, nah.
Yeah.
I'm not going that far with it.
I know
man.
what we said. We said we'd honor, and we'll honor our past commitments. But like everything coming in the future, nah, fam, y'all ain't getting that shit. Like, I expect them. I expect them to keep the Call of Duty franchise on PlayStation.
Yeah,
And everywhere else
treat it like
because it makes money.
Minecraft and just make your
Yeah.
money that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they'll make their money off of that because, like, I mean, Call of Duty is a juggernaut, man. It makes what, fucking like 4 billion a year or some shit like that. Like, they're gonna get that money back from Call of Duty, and everything else outside of that, fucking kick rocks. Y'all ain't seen none of that shit on PlayStation 5 ever. Ever. That's just coming to Game Pass day and date. And even if it does come on PlayStation 5, you're gonna spend $60 to $70 for it.
See, and that's another big thing. Real quick, I just want to shout out Sir X-Man. Sir X-Man, I definitely did not forget about you. I had the super chat up here and waiting. Thank you so much for the support, bro. Hitting up that super chat. He says RG Viper should take Dark Spot it'd be more exciting than not having either Dark or Viper on. I think that's what you're trying to say, bro.
I think he
But-
was trying to diss me right there.
I don't
That's
know.
what he's trying to say.
I don't know.
Which is fine. I mean,
have you ever played
whatever.
golf with him? Have you ever played golf with him?
With who?
With Sir X Man.
I try not to play games with Sir X, man.
See,
Oh wow.
wow.
I'm just saying because it gets too much. Let's just say
He be
that.
having thickums playing golf with him. Those are his characters he creates.
Yeah, for real. and then you gotta start playing music in the background as well. Shout out to the whole Sir Mix-a-Lot deal. But let's see here. Let's go with Crispy on this one. Crispy. We got a little clarification when it comes to the whole Activision deal, and now some people are claiming that all Activision Blizzard games are gonna be multi-plat. They're gonna go to PlayStation, and people are even joking around about Xbox saying, "Hey, we want to put these popular titles on Switch as well." What do you think this interview meant? Like, what do you think these words really meant? And are you in the same boat with kind of like me and Pred? I think me and Pred are thinking a lot alike here. Are you in that boat, or what's the crispy truth on this, bro?
COD is going to be multi-plat. That's
Okay.
the easy thought process on it. You got to look at it this way. I heard Nintendo too much, way too many times. I think there's something going on.
Game Pass.
It might not be Game Pass, but I'm gonna tell you right now, some of these
Cloud.
games would not run without the cloud that Microsoft currently has. And when are they going to actually launch that completely? I mean, I'm curious. Pretty smart move, by the way. Like any bugs, anything people have problems with, they go and try to fix it, but at the same time, they could be like, "Hey, it's not, full release, so it is what it is." I mean,
it's that
it's
security
a smart
blanket,
move.
man. Security
It's
blanket.
a little security blanket, and it's technically true because they haven't put that out there yet, and we've been waiting for like years now. It feels like so. You look at it this way. I look at Microsoft said we bought IPs. We bought some old, some new. I mean, you talk about Phil talking about WoW and everything else. Like
he talked about
them
Guitar
great.
Hero as well, which I was like, what?
You know what? But nowadays, with the way the pandemic has happened and everything else, like Guitar Hero could come back in a big way.
Don't play
and
with
be
my
different.
heart like that, Crispy. Don't play
and
with my
be
heart.
different. Be different. Be different than what it was. You know what I'm saying? Like more technical.
Yeah, it'll be Game Pass fodder.
Oh, really?
Game Pass fodder. Okay, yeah. I mean, dude, Grounded is Game Pass fodder and it hit 10 million, bro. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. It is not even fully released yet. Man, I don't even know.
The campaign's not even done yet.
Hey, how about that backyard? They're dark. I mean, you sitting there and putting your head in the freaking sand or something. I don't know. The fact is that Microsoft is got regulatory. The FTC. Everybody's up their butt right now, and they got to play nice. So you say Call of Duty, which makes total sense. I mean, highest revenue multi-plat for years upon years now. If they actually make it better, you attract people to the console because you put it in Game Pass immediately. It makes total sense. It's just like Minecraft. And that's where Albert, I'm sorry, bro. They've been a third-party developer for a long time, bro. They bought Mojang. Mojang's been making Minecraft for every single thing on the planet. Okay, so let's not ignore that. Truly, I think the entire acquisition is for King because, I mean, Candy Crush is just a phenomenon. I mean, it is like
well, they're gonna
billions.
they're just gonna rake in money from that, man. Let's be real.
I'm telling you right now, and then they're gonna put it on console as well. I guarantee it. They're probably gonna give you perks if you're on Game Pass, just like they've been doing with all of their exclusives. Okay. It's
Everybody's mom is gonna want to play Xbox. That's it.
Unfortunately, it's a games as a service model right now. And if you look at success with Call of Duty as games as a service, you look at Warzone. Okay, and Warzone is a success. And not for me personally, but for so many PlayStation gamers that absolutely continue to play that game to this day. It's like Destiny for bot. It's like Gears for me. It's like I don't know. What
Dude, Destiny,
else
I'm
you
only
got.
at like 140 days in game, man. I don't
only,
have
only, yeah.
I don't have a problem. I can stop whenever I want.
And yeah, you don't have a problem, and you can buy whenever you want to. That's the point. So games as a service works, but Microsoft's trying to find that right, sweet spot where people can't hate it because of Game Pass, because it'll be in there. But, at the same time, it hurts when you have to pay $70, $60, $50 for that same game on the other console. And I think that's where their sweet spot is right now, where they're like, we don't know how to play this out correctly, because at the end of the day, you could get people that hate the microtransactions, or you get people that hate paying $70 up front. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you look at it and you say, well, these are cosmetics. These are things that have nothing to do with actually playing the game. If you're good at the game, you're good at the game. And I think Microsoft has done a really good job of saying, okay, let's take away the difference between being good at the game and adding things to the game that make you better. And they've done a decent job about that, because still the games I play are technically games as a service, but they kind of separated the gameplay, how it plays, to what actually you pay for. And I think that's important.
Yeah, no pay to win. No pay to win, bro.
Yeah, exactly. So those are things that you have to look at, and you also have to realize that there's just a different ball game going on here. There's one company is catching up. You could see it. You might lie to yourself, but you could see it. Oh, we released God of War on PC. Oh, we did this, we did that. Oh, now all of a sudden Destiny is going, going to stay multiplayer, even though we bought Bungie. Okay.
We're testing voice commands on the PlayStation 5.
Well, all right. Well, we're getting into deeper things that, I thought was smart on Microsoft back in the day and everybody hated. But those are the points. Like, dude, like you all these PlayStation crazy, just I'm a fanboy. I love PlayStation. It's like listening to the Democratic or Republican Party, one or the other. You can't say nothing that changes my mind. And what I say to you is this: why in God's name is that company, Sony, the lead, okay, as far as AAA games and everything else? Because they're not the lead of console sales. That's Nintendo, just to let you know. Everybody forgets that, but Nintendo's been smashing everybody for like 2.5, 3 years now. Okay. So let's forget the console sales, because that's a totally irrelevant argument. And it drives me crazy. Okay. Let's think about, AAA games. Nintendo, in my opinion, what I play for a AAA game now is not Nintendo is Nintendo. Okay. They have their own little bubble. That bubble does not get burst. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't happen. So it's Sony and Microsoft. And when they're saying, okay, we're going to release COD for God knows how long, which they didn't give a speculation. They said, hey, even after the contracts are up. That's all they said. Okay. They release COD there. They say, hey, we're going to make money because people are going to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Because people buy it now. You know what I mean? And if they make it a little bit better, even if it's their own way, like, dude, like Halo, I got into Halo again because of the grapple shot. I was like, man, this thing's freaking cool. You know what I mean? It's one simple tool that was put in the game that I actually enjoyed and so many other people did. You know what I mean? It's one of those things like you could pull something out of nowhere and it could make people really happy. You know what I mean? And especially for those Call of Duty players, you never know. Like Microsoft's got this staple. One other thing, and this is where I'm going to end it. If you think about it this way, okay, all these new games that are coming out, whatever else, they could be collaborative with other developers within Xbox Game Studios. Okay. So, for example, let's say Raven Studio goes under technically and they release it under Obsidian or something. You know what I'm saying? That wouldn't be technically an Activision game.
You're finding loopholes in that whole thing. Dude, I didn't even think about that, and I like where you're coming from, man, because not a lot of people.
They've been support studios for a long time. A lot of them, especially the past couple of years, they've all been support studios. But if they work on a totally different game, it will be new to them, and it might be 50-50, but guess what? All Microsoft has to say, it's under Obsidian, it's under Bethesda, whatever else, and it's in collaboration. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just telling you, they could play some games, but right now they are playing what is right for them. And
they're playing nice right now.
That is to get this damn deal through as quickly as possible.
I got you, bro. Yo, shout out to Fahim real quick. Yo, good to see you in here. And he said that Crispy Bomb has corrupted him. Dude, he will have that effect on you the more and more you tune in. But don't stop tuning in, man. I love seeing you in the chat. Be here every Thursday, bro. Every Thursday. But let's get to the Angry Otter himself, Dark Optimus. Dark. I don't know what humor string you're gonna pull on this one, but there's a little more clarification now when it comes to Activision Blizzard. Does it sound to you like all the Activision Blizzard games will be on multiple platforms? And some people are trying to throw it out there that Xbox will be going third party, bro. What do you think about that?
Yeah, man, Xbox is going third party.
I served that up so wrong to you, man.
Honestly, honestly, I really don't care. To be honest, it's one of those things that like Call of Duty, even if it went on Xbox, don't really care. Diablo, that goes on Xbox, that's fine. I play that game on PC anyways. That's one of the only ones I ever play on PC because it's just the controls are just way better on PC. Yeah, it's just it doesn't affect me at all. I think it does affect some people, and that's why they're all kind of butthurt about it. But that's I mean I get that. I kind of get that because it's like, well, I've been playing this game for how many years now, and then they're just gonna take it away from me. I get that, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, but I mean, does it really like affect you that much that you're just like, I rather just not even if you could just not play it, like if you don't want to play it on Xbox, then you can just not play it or just go buy a PC. Like there's options, people.
But do you think that all the games will be going multiplat, or do you think that word popular, like again, when it comes to contracts and stuff, and I don't know how many people out there, I'm pretty sure people in the chat know this. It's like going into a courtroom, and when you go into a courtroom, there are certain words that you would use outside of the courtroom that actually have a different meaning opposed to inside the courtroom. So when you're talking like contract, you're basically talking like contract speak. You know what I'm saying? And to me, that whole popular thing is telling me, yeah, definitely Call of Duty, possibly Overwatch, But to me, it looks like everything else is on the table to do whatever the hell they want with it.
Yeah, I could probably see. I could probably add Diablo in there as well. With that. So you look at Call of Duty, Overwatch, Diablo, and then the rest of the stuff is up for grabs for Microsoft. Which honestly, most of those the only games I ever play is if I'm into it, Call of Duty that year or Diablo out of any of those
Crash
games.
Bandicoot. You love Crash.
I
You
I
love
hate
Crash.
those fucking games.
You love
I hate I
Spyro.
hate I hate Spyro too. The only game that I wish that they would bring back, and I don't know if they're gonna do it, is Prototype. And that's really the only game that I'm like, I hope they bring it
That's under
back. And then
Activision?
that was
Yeah.
under Activision, yeah.
I mean,
Um,
that's on the table, bro.
I mean
it's on
that
the
that would
it's
be
on the table.
Xbox's version of Infamous. So
Yeah, yeah, I could see that. I don't think they'll make another Infamous game, but that's just me. I just saying. Um, but yeah, I don't see any of the other titles going to PlayStation. Um, I think the way that Microsoft words things, they're very they're kind of convoluted. They don't really kind of say exactly what they're gonna do until they're actually done with the deal.
That's how they
Like it's
became
the
a
same.
trillion-dollar company, bro.
Yeah, and they kind of they believe it or not, they sold that from Apple. Apple started doing that. Started telling people,
Vagueness.
vagueness, vagueness. And it works, and I think right as of right now, you're gonna get your Call of Duty. You're gonna get Overwatch 2 probably. You might even get Diablo, but other stuff, yeah, I would just hang it up on other stuff, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely I agree with you on that, man. It's good to hear like so many people on the panel are actually on the same page with this because again, I'm going into my work weekend and when
People
I'm
hear what they want to hear. You know what I'm saying?
oh
People want to
that is
hear.
true. Oh my
They
goodness.
they 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 see it and they're like, "Oh, all games are going to go to fucking PlayStation." No, that's not what he said. If you read it and you read it carefully, you'll know exactly what he said. He said other popular titles. That doesn't mean all other popular. Well, I mean, we won't get into that because other people fucking butthurt about that too. He just said other popular titles. So honestly, it's really up to Microsoft to pick and choose what goes to
Yeah, like
PlayStation and what
what they
doesn't.
deem as popular, like
Right.
what is their barometer to
So either
gauge
way,
popularity?
please. So either way, if Xbox says, "Oh well, we think this game's popular, it's going to go to PlayStation," then they'll put it on PlayStation. If they don't think it's popular, then they won't put it on PlayStation. So if you're expecting like, oh, if you're expecting, well, oh, let's just say Diablo 4 comes out, right? And you're like, oh man, I can't wait for Diablo 4 to come to PlayStation, and then it doesn't come to PlayStation. That's on you for believing that it was going to come there. You know.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yo, real quick, shout out to Tip Top Dalton. Yo, good to see you in the chat, bro. This is not a super chat, but it's a good question. He asked, "Is Redfall coming out this year?" I wanted to respond to this because I have interest in Redfall, and now I
Didn't they
know
say it's coming out 2023? I thought
no,
they already delayed it or something like
no,
that.
they all
no,
delayed it, but they didn't say when.
It's
no.
supposed to come
It's
out
No,
this
that was
slotted.
year,
Stalker,
but
right? That was Stalker that got delayed
Stalker,
until later on this year, huh?
Coming out, yeah, this
yeah,
year. Yeah.
Stalker's coming out like basically the end of the year this year. But when it comes to Redfall, I have an interest in this, even though we haven't seen gameplay yet. We saw kind of like the CGI trailer. But the thing is, an open world game that doesn't have zombies in it, but instead has a different monster when it comes to vampires that have different skills, different strengths, stuff like that. I'm down for it because and I think we might talk about Dying Light 2 or whatever, but I am completely drained of any type of excitement when it comes to another zombie game. I feel like the zombie genre has just been pushed incredibly between last generation into this generation, and I got zombie fatigue going on when it comes to video games. It feels like almost like the easy way to get a game out. You know what I'm saying? And I'm ready for something new. And to me, vampires is definitely something new. So you could go in co-op, kind of like an open world atmosphere, hunting vampires with your friends. I'm down. I need to see what this game is gonna be, though. I can't wait to see some gameplay, but I am very interested in what Redfall is gonna be. But on that note, let's K Mega, we'll get to you with Activision, bro. The interview, you heard what they said. You heard what I asked everybody. You know, in terms of all these games, multi-plat or whatnot. What do you think, man? And people claiming that this is the beginning of Xbox going third party. I think they just really want Xbox games on their platform, man. Am I crazy here?
No, you're not crazy. You know what I'm saying? And this is going to be a challenge because I'm over here playing Search and Destroy on Crossfire X. So let's see. All right, so let me try to do this and do this. Now, this is going to be kind of tricky, but all right. So this is, I do agree with what Priya was talking about, right? Where he was alluding to that. Look, it's smart money, man. Like, look, Xbox is playing chess right now. You know what I'm saying? While people keep talking checkers, when it comes down to this money aspect of it, I mean, there's a lot of money. Oh my God, I got to record that. I killed the whole squad. Let's go while I'm on the block. I killed the whole squad, baby. MVP. All right, okay, so now I can back off. All right. Oh my goodness.
He just said he did.
I did. I killed the whole squad. I just recorded that clip. I'm going to post that too later on. All right, so basically, this is what this is about, right? Like, okay, so of course you would want to put Call of Duty in on other platforms, and the whole thing while they were talking about, and I've seen Xbox gamers get out upset. Oh, they talk more about Nintendo and PlayStation. This is this is business. You want to sit here and act like, oh, Xbox is vulnerable. Xbox is vulnerable. Look at them. They're desperate. They're over and hamming it up, just sitting here and waiting. Look, didn't everybody have this same type of thought process when it came to the ZeniMax deal? And then what happened once the ink was dry?
Bam.
What happened when the ink was dry? Like, oh yeah, that Starfield game, oh yeah, that belongs to us. Now you got PlayStation fans out here who don't know what game is going to be coming from ZeniMax that's going to, they don't know. They have no idea which game is going to be there because Xbox said the same thing. But the deal happened so fast that nobody didn't have the time like they're going to have with this, which I do feel, me and Don alluded to this, that like Don thinks this deal will be done by the summer. I think it'll definitely be done by this year. And so you also got to put in consideration the fact that they don't want to shake the market. They don't want to get the markets to be tripping. Like you come up here and you like, oh yeah, you coming out here being a big dog and saying, oh yeah, that shit belongs to us. We're not putting it on anything. The market is going to trip out, flip out, and then you don't know what Sony's lawyers would be doing. You don't know what, there's no really entities in PC that could really come out.
Can I stop you real quick?
Yeah, yes, sir.
People aren't, they're not thinking about the other deals Microsoft has in play too.
Right.
Like they get the ZeniMax, they got the ZeniMax deal done. They get this Activision deal done. They got another deal in the works as well. Like if they come out like this fucking flexing right now with this Activision shit, and then like a couple of weeks later they like, oh, by the way, we bought WB. Like they can't come out and just be like this flexing this whole time when they got other shit in the works they're trying to work on too. So they gotta play nice right now.
Exactly.
Yo, breaking news according to Iceman. Iceman in the chat said the deal is already done. He just had to talk with Phil Spencer.
Oh wow, okay. But no, Iceman's stupid. Anyway, so that's the thing to me is that like, and Fred is absolutely right. Like there's also moves that's being made behind moves, so this is all, the whole thing is when you get the market to trip out, when you come out and flex and say, oh yeah, these games are exclusive, then you don't know what Sony lawyers will try to conjure up to try to make things change. You don't know what the Congress is going to do, or whatever that the people in government,
Federal Trade Commission.
The Federal Trade Commission is going to say, because if they listen, it's one thing at one point, like they may not be in the video games, but they know what that word Call of Duty is because they got kids and grandkids and nieces and nephews that plays that game. So they know that. And so if you got Microsoft over here flexing on people and saying, oh yeah, that game is exclusive, then they're going to be like, hold on, what? Well, my niece owns a PlayStation. You see what I'm saying? So they can't do that. They can't do that because they might jeopardize the deal. Then on top of that, what you got is make that money back as soon as possible. And what better way to make that money back by letting PlayStation, let the PlayStation community keep capping about $70 games. Go ahead and pay that $70. That's going to just boost up our revenue over here on Game Pass once we put it out here, and we'll be charging $60. Now, Microsoft could do the right thing and make the game be $60 regardless. The PlayStation community has to pay for it. That shit is not going to be on Spartacus. Unless the only way that I could see that because I've seen Tom.
I don't know if Sony would allow $60 games on PlayStation, bro.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think so either, because then that would contradict the whole thing. Like, well, why is Call of Duty 60 and why is your exclusive 70? So the most likely there'll be $70. But again, I mean, if once the ink dry, Microsoft could probably work something out. But I don't think Microsoft is going to trip about that $10 extra, because they're going to be saying, look, that's the Sony community that wants to pay that $70. And to put it on Nintendo is absolutely smart as hell, because you could do it through the cloud, and then how that fan base has been waiting for a game like that to come over from third party. So they will gladly let that happen. And then they'll generate, you got Candy Crush, then you got you put Overwatch on there, and then of course there's Diablo. I don't see Diablo is going to move some numbers, but it's not going to do anything like Candy Crush, Overwatch, and COD. And then another game that would be like when I brought up Skylanders, which they definitely can bring back Skylanders. Put that shit on Nintendo, watch that shit rank. You know what I'm saying? All you got to do is put a Nintendo character in the Skylanders universe and just reap the rewards. And in no time, they will get that money back in the next 5 to 10 years. I say 5 years or less. And then is what Fred said, that you don't know what the future is going to be in the next 5 to 10 years. And then at that point, any and everything can change. See, this is where people keep getting this thought process where, oh man, what's going to happen to the industry if all these studios are going to get bought? And I think I said this last week on GRG before I got wasted, which I apologize for. Sorry, Sir X-Man. I apologize to everybody on there except the Sir X-Man yet. But what I made the point was that, look, who's to say that like the Capcoms can't be purchased or the Square Enix can't be purchased? How do you think that those studios came up? They started off as indie studios, and right now we have a huge wave of indie studios that's coming out, and they're making big AAA games, and all they need is just that one hit to become the next Capcom, the next Ready at, well, I can't say Ready at Dawn because Ready at Dawn we got but or Insomniac or something
Ready
like
at
that.
Dawn went to Tencent.
Oh, okay, so yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So all these purchases now is just the old guard. They've been in business for 30, 40 years, 20 to 40 years. And so now it's time for them. They feel comfortable being acquired, while the new guard will come out and then they will be the new market. So that there's no monopoly going on. It's just that, when companies have so much time and they've had success, and then they're looking at their business model and things is just not the same, they're like, okay, I think it's time for us to get acquired. So there's no monopoly going on. It's just that there's just going to be new developers or new studios that's going to be popping up that's going to take the place of the ones that we've all known. See, that's the thing I've always said, is that gamers do not like change, and the change is coming right before our eyes. So what's happening right here is just business, and when Microsoft has all the leverage. So yes, PlayStation fans can gloat right now, and there's those Xbox gamers out there that cry about every little thing. Like, how 1 minute y'all gonna sit here and say that Microsoft and Phil and them are out of touch and don't know how to read the temperature in the room in gamers and Xbox gamers. But then they put the ZeniMax games right there in your face, and then we're going to have one of the biggest. I don't know. We haven't seen anything about Starfield, but this has looked like. I mean, there's been so much happen about this game. Like, this is like the next best, biggest IP to come out. And you know what? That's exclusive. Fallout is going to be exclusive. Skyrim is going to be exclusive. Redfall exclusive. You know, we don't know about Wolfenstein yet, but you can guarantee Doom is most likely going to be exclusive. So I mean, and then all these other games from the Indiana Jones game to this Contraband to everything. Look at all these other games that's going to be exclusive on Xbox, or you get the benefit of it being on Game Pass, and you ain't got to pay $70 for that. So they gotta. Like, I don't even know why they're even crying. They got to shut the hell up. There's plenty of games coming out. Like, just a couple of months ago, everybody was talking about, man, there's just so many games coming out. Xbox is man, we eat so good over here. Now, just because
Stalker got delayed.
Right. Well, that's a time exclusive though. So
yeah, I know, but it was a game that was filling in at a certain time of the year. That it's definitely kind of like a hit on some of the momentum when it comes to Xbox, but it's not like the bus is slamming on the brakes. You know what I'm saying? Like that was a hit. I really wish there was no delay for that. I'm really excited about that game. I think that game's going to be awesome. But when it as soon as people saw that delay, then they started with the whole narrative that Xbox only releases games in November. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a whole thing that built up around that, and unfortunately,
and that it is unfortunate. But see, check it out. What Fred said, and I didn't even think about that. That was just genius. What if they do, like, they're already saying that they're thinking about making COD not to be annual, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let's just say that they give, because I think Raven Studios have a relationship with another Bethesda studio. I can't remember what studio that they have a good connection with. What if they go ahead and go into they give PlayStation Warzone for because that's going to be a yearly thing. But then when they do the semi-annual thing in between, whatever the other studio is going to work, if they work on COD, will be exclusive to Xbox only. Think about that. Like they would like just say like, okay, so for PlayStation fans, they would get like what people would look at as, the tradition from the Treyarchs and from the Sledgehammers or whatever, right? But then in between, or if there's something different that's going to be made from a different studio within Xbox Studios, that Call of Duty stays exclusive. That's genius. And right there, you're still going to people are going to be like, well, damn, this is different. This is whatever. So there's so many things around this that people taking way out of context, because Xbox is thinking about is, we got to recoup this money. We got to recoup all this money. This is $70 billion that we just spent. So yeah, we're gonna milk this cow until it's extra dry. So might as well let everybody get it. But we can go ahead and with this funding, this helps out all of the Xbox studios going forward, because they will make that money and reap the benefits bigger than anybody could think. Just because just think about that, 3 IPs that can go ahead and just recoup that money, and Xbox can sit there and just, man, Ninja Theory, hey man, we got a project that we want to do, man, but this is gonna cost us. Don't worry about it. Shit, that Call of Duty money gonna be coming in next month, so you all right? Next quarter, we good. So yeah, it's a win-win, man. It's a win-win. So I don't even know why anybody would trip about it.
Yeah, definitely. And another thing when it comes to Call of Duty, again, is Game Pass, because when the dust settles and this deal is done, basically, and I'm not even a Call of Duty guy, but I would have to be a blind man to not see how much like Call of Duty influences gamers and consumers year after year. And you're going to have basically the highest sold game every year gonna be completely marketed around Game Pass and have it Game Pass day and date. And when it comes to not yearly, there is nothing wrong, and I think a lot of like Call of Duty gamers out there, and if you're in the chat, please definitely comment on this. But I feel like they wouldn't have a problem, not necessarily getting a, a brand new Call of Duty every year. I know a lot of them were complaining that they seemed rushed because they're going every year, even though that they're kind of split between three different developers. But continuing Warzone and that whole thing as kind of like game as a service where they're updating the maps, they're putting new weapons in and stuff like that, and they're adding fresh content on a regular basis. I think Call of Duty players would be absolutely happy with that when it comes down to it, as long as the content is good for them. And it's just a good way to go, in my opinion. But, guys, we got to get into something. What
I want to respond to Fahim Scott. And he said, well, we don't know about what Project Spartacus is going to, what it's going to be like, though. It's already dead on arrival if it doesn't put the PlayStation exclusives day and date. Even if they decided to wait 60 to 90 days, that's still not on the same level as what Game Pass provides you. Because now the games are going to start. We're not even in we're just getting into the infant stages of what Xbox portfolio is going to be right now. We're just getting started. It's not even truly begun yet. So think about when these games start rolling in, and then they're all day and date, and then when PlayStation they reveal Spartacus and it looks appealing, but they're not going to put their games in there day and date, or even let's say a month or whatever. It's not going to get the same type of attraction. It will get people on board, but it won't have the same type of gravity as what Game Pass does.
Yeah,
that's my opinion on it.
And again, Fahim, you're right. We don't know what Spartacus is going to do, but I am definitely leaning towards the rumors of that whole 3-tier system. And when it comes down to it, like the highest tier, you get kind of like extensive demos. But I'm in K Mega's kind of like camp when it comes to you gotta put your first party games in there day and date to be as attractive as Game Pass is. And Fahim, the game that is playing right now is a game called Contrast. It is one of the first games I did beat on my Xbox One as well. It is, I believe, the first game from Compulsion Games. And I wanted to show it because it's not necessarily the best looking. It's coming from kind of like the launch window of the Xbox One, but the creativity.
Actually, it was a launch game on the PS4, and it was only on the PS4 for a while.
Oh, okay, all right. I stand corrected by Dark Optimus himself. I can't wait to hear your opinions on stuff next week, man. I can't wait for you to correct me next week, bro.
I'm just saying. You want to be accurate about it, then
we put out the facts, and you stated that, and I got you, bro. But the reason why I wanted to put it on there is to show kind of like the creativity. Again, they didn't have the biggest budget for this game or anything like that, but with the way that they use shadows in terms of kind of like traversing through this world, and the story. The story is very interesting. There are a couple twists and turns. Dark, have you played and beat this game?
No, it's nothing. It wasn't anything that I was interested in.
I'm surprised, man. I think if you gave this like 20 minutes, you would be into this game. Like, yeah, I'm gonna beat this game.
It's like I feel like I'm not gonna say it. I was gonna say something.
Well, Fahim, if you think it looks cool, it is in Game Pass. So if you have Game Pass, you can download it and try it out, man. Again, dude, the story is really interesting. There's a couple twists and turns that it gets crazy. It gets you engaged, man. You definitely, especially the first time, you definitely want to play it until you beat it. You get that gamer's itch where when you come home and turn on your system, if you had played this a while before, you'd be like, man, I gotta see what's going on with the story and get back right into it and keep playing it. Yeah. But guys, we got to get into something juicy here. Dude, the head of Platinum Games. I cannot believe this guy sometimes, man. But yo, he is literally out there on social media. I for lack of a better term, he is begging Xbox for a second chance. And you guys got to ask for what? It is for the game that Xbox gamers have been trying to just kind of like forget about and move on from, and that would be Scalebound. For people who don't know, back in the Xbox One era, there was this kind of like dragon and hero type game where you're riding a dragon. You yourself have a sword and special powers and stuff. And it was supposed to be an Xbox One exclusive. It was being developed by Platinum Games, and the game was in kind of like development hell for a long time, and a lot of gamers were wondering what was going on with it. We later heard, I guess you could say, heard rumors, but a lot of people were saying the same things, that Platinum Games was actually using the funding for Scalebound to finish their other games that that were in development at that time as well. And it got to a point where Microsoft and Xbox just basically cut them off and canceled the game. Which a lot of people were not happy about. My son definitely was not happy when he heard that Scalebound got canceled. He's a big fan of dragons at that point in time. Was really looking forward to that game, but the head of Platinum Games basically says, "Hey, Phil, let's do this together. Phil, we want to make Scalebound. Let's get to the table and let's work out a deal." And if I were Phil, I'd be like, "Who is you? Who is you? Who is you right now? I don't even know. Well, you get out the office. I don't know you. I would personally be absolutely done with it. And the thing is, Xbox owns the IP. If Xbox wants to do this, I would have no problem with them bringing back Scalebound, but I would not trust Platinum Games. I would not touch them with a 10-foot pole when it comes to doing business after what went on the first time. But let's go with Crispy on this one. Crispy, I don't know what you were thinking when Scalebound was in development. So let me know first if you had interest in this game when when it was in development for Xbox One, when they showed gameplay, stuff like that. And then let us know how you feel about Platinum Games wanting to come back and kind of give it a second chance, man. Would you do it if you were Phil Spencer,
bro? Interest in the game? Well, you're riding dragons, and then all of a sudden you turn into like Devil May Cry stuff. It was interesting.
Yes.
Was it executed? No. Was Platinum releasing other games besides what they were supposed to be doing? Yes. So at the end of the day, you have to look at it and say, okay, how much funding did they get from Microsoft at that point in time? Probably a lot. So they use that for their other games. And I've actually seen like interviews like inside of like PAX East and stuff like that, where they just talk trash, like the whole like development team and including that dude just talk trash about Microsoft and just act like they don't owe them anything. No, you owe them a game. And you know what, Phil? You got the IP. Give it to somebody that actually cares.
Yes.
give it to somebody that actually would actually do something with it. I mean, for the love of God, you could even go to Falconeer and take that dev and give him a team, and he'd probably make a better freaking game or actually release it, I should say. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are so many devs out there that would take this IP and actually make it something. And it's just it's saddening that somebody has had to stoop so low to once again beg Microsoft, from what I read, I'm just saying, beg Microsoft to say, hey, we need another chance. Well, how many chances we gonna give you? And you know what? A lot of people gave Phil flack for canceling it, but you know what? He's coming in through the door. He's saying, well, got to make a splash. And you know what? This game it's not up to par. It's not where it should be after years. What are we doing? And then he said, we're done. We're not funding this anymore. We can't spend this money when you're not giving me, and you got to realize that Phil is one of them people that will go to the studio and actually play the game. We've seen it many times. And if he's enjoying it, if he has intrigue, if he's been a developer, people, you know what I mean? Like he knows like what it takes. So he looked at them and said, nah, you're just taking our money. That's what you're doing. And don't let him do it again, Phil. Don't do it. Give it to somebody that cares.
All right, I got you. And I see the chat has, I'm surprised at how many people are saying do it. That's a little surprising, and for different reasons. Shout out to the chat. Keep the conversation going. I love reading what you guys are saying as we're talking about it. Let's see, Dark. Dark. What do you think about this, man? And I'm sorry, I don't remember if you were into Scalebound when they were kind of like developing it the first time, but should Platinum Games get another crack at this, man?
I thought it looked cool when I saw it. It wasn't a game that was like, oh my god, I gotta get a fucking Xbox for this game. There was other games that I wanted to get an Xbox for, and one of them was, it actually came out and was fucking phenomenal, and people gave it shit, and now the developer's owned by Sony. It was Sunset Overdrive. And I fucking love that game.
It's amazing how many Sunset Overdrive haters there were on the PlayStation
I know, dude.
side. That
I know, dude.
Now
I
they're
know,
like,
dude.
yo, that was Xbox's greatest game, man.
I know, dude. I was like, anything that Insomniac touches, I'm like, okay, I know the pedigree that they're gonna do. They're gonna do at least a decent job on the game. Platinum, they are very much hit or miss. They are more misses than they are hits. So yeah. You know that guy from Office Space? Yeah, you're gonna have to. You're gonna have to. We're gonna need you to come in on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to go ahead.
That's what Phil needs to do with Platinum Games. He's gonna be. He's got to say, yeah, we're gonna give this to someone.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and just get out of my office and never say that again.
Exactly. I don't think Platinum Games has the pedigree to do this, honestly. If anybody had a pedigree to do this, on the Xbox side,
I wouldn't. And I'm sorry, Crispy, but when you said like the developer for the Falconeer, I'm like, can we get somebody else? Man?
I would say it would be a game that would release, but would it be a good game? I don't know.
Try to get.
I would try to
literally take any Bethesda dev.
I would agree with Crispy on that one. I think if Bethesda did it, it'd probably be a pretty decent game.
I would try to get some of the talent
bugs,
from the
but
Panzer Dragoon era, like those developers to maybe kind of like come in with a team and go in on that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the interesting thing is that Microsoft owns it, so they can do whatever they want. And if they decide, hey, we are gonna give it to Platinum Games, there's nothing we can fucking do about it. Like we can bitch and
we can tell them
no. We can tell them no all we want, but it's not going to change the fact that that's who they chose, unless it happens again, which I don't think they want that to happen again. I think they know Microsoft is pretty good at learning lessons the first time. And they've kind of always been like that. Um, you know, and look at perfect example, Xbox One era. You know, look at how much they turned around that chip.
Dark,
Right
Dark, I
away.
gotta ask you. Dark. When it comes to this whole subject, dude, to me, it's kind of funny that they're coming out and saying this now when reports are coming out that Platinum they have to change up the way that they're making games because their games haven't really been profitable. They haven't really been
Because they
able to
suck.
make that money.
The only good games that they've had are Bayonetta and Nier. That's it. Those are the only two games that I can remember that they've had that were good. They've done TMNT. They've fucking fucked that shit up. They did what's that other game that they did that everybody was like hyped for, and then it fucking flopped like a motherfucker. Um, Look at what they're doing now. They're doing this stupid fucking game called
Babylon Fall.
Babylon's Fall, and I'm just like, people are excited for this shit. It looks shitty, like shitty.
Looks shitty like
it,
Sifu.
it worse.
Oh.
Worse. It looks way worse than that. At least
Yeah,
Sifu looks
okay.
like it's
Dude,
functioning.
I said that as a
That
joke.
game,
Sifu doesn't
Babylon's
look
Fall, does
absolutely horrible. Like, trust me, I'm not saying that. Yeah.
Babylon's Fall is supposed to release in March, right?
it's supposed to release in March. Yeah,
We ain't heard
I
shit
think
about
they're
it.
Yeah, I think they're doing this. Well, of course, PlayStation's not going to put their name on something that they know that look at Days Gone. Days Gone. They didn't freaking market that shit at all. They knew that game was going to come out and be shit, so they didn't want to market it.
Look what they did. I think they learned that from No Man's Sky. They put their name all
Yeah.
over No Man's Sky,
Yeah.
and then that released, and they're like, you know what, Sean
Yeah.
Murray, get under that
Yeah.
bus. Get under that
Yeah.
bus. Like,
And he went under that bus, and he stayed under that bus, and then he came out and was like, "Oh, here's
I'm
our game
rich.
now."
He's like, I'm rich. Yeah.
Hey, I mean, more power to him. I mean, he went back and he made the game better. But yeah, I mean, anything that Platinum touches, it's either good or it's just complete garbage, and most of it's garbage. So don't do not. I repeat, this is coming from somebody who likes PlayStation games and somebody who likes gaming all around. Do not give your games to Platinum Games.
Don't do it.
Do not do it.
Dude, I don't know how this can even be a thing if what they were saying about the scale bound funding was real. All right, if that was absolutely true, and that's what they did with the money that they were supposed to be using to develop Scalebound, and they used it for other titles that they were making, basically putting Scalebound on the back burner while burning through the money that Microsoft was giving them. I have no idea
Why do you think Near Automata was so good?
Oh,
Because they used that fucking money to make Near Automata.
I was actually going to say that.
That should have been an Xbox exclusive then, because that was Xbox money.
that should have been on Xbox Day One when it came out on PlayStation, but it didn't. It came out on PlayStation first, which really doesn't. I don't understand why.
That's what we call a double dip, Dark. It's a double dip.
Yeah, I know. I know it's double dipping for a lot of people. But yeah, it's the only reason why. I honestly think that's the only reason why that game did so well and made so much and was so good is because they had that Microsoft money. And I think that's what they want again. They want that Microsoft money so they could probably do this shit again. Do not give your games to Platinum Games.
Don't do that shit.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yo, Predator, man, Predator. What do you think about this? And did you laugh the way I did when this came out on Twitter? That this dude was like, He's like, "Come on, Phil Spencer, we'll do it together."
I'm just like,
no.
So no, first of all, it's no. Like you don't trip over shit behind you. So like
Dude, I never heard that before.
yeah,
Yeah.
like they had the opportunity to do something special for Microsoft, but they fucked up. And who knows how that game would have turned out? It might have been a fucking shit show. We don't know. But they took Microsoft's money and ran off with it to do other shit with it. So and the thing was like as you listen to like all the stuff that happened with Scalebound after the fact, and everybody blamed Phil and Microsoft and stuff like that. But when everything came out in the wash, it was platinum. Microsoft came to them and said, "Hey, we're gonna give this money and make this game," and Platinum couldn't do it. You got the dude fucking on cruises and shit and on vacations, not fucking overseeing the product he's
I
supposed to be putting out.
forgot about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and how they was talking
That's all
shit.
Microsoft money that he used to go on those
Yeah,
cruises.
like he was out fucking parlaying up in fucking Dubai or some shit. He wanna he wasn't showing up at the office and shit like that. And now he's like, yeah, let me come through and make this game for y'all real quick. And then they break up and he's like, I'm gonna come back. I'm like, no, dude, you can't. It don't work that way. So I don't I laugh when I saw it. And you know I think with the offerings they've had out recently with with Babylon's Fall and stuff like that, like they really haven't really done shit since then. Um, like I'm looking at some of the stuff right here on Wikipedia. So I didn't know they made Astral Chain. Or did
Yeah.
they? Did they? Okay,
They
so
Yeah.
Near Automata.
hmm
I don't even know what the fuck World's Demons, the iOS game. Wonderful 101 remastered. And like I said, they got Bayonetta 3 coming out for the Switch. It's like they don't have anything coming. Like they've not even worked with Microsoft and made anything for the Xbox at all, other than Near. And that was kind of like an afterthought. You know what I'm saying? So they had an opportunity to get into the Microsoft space with Scalebound, and they fucked it up. And now they want to come back because like you look at the last couple of games, like nothing says Xbox. Nothing says like we're gonna put Xbox first in this. And so now they want to come back in, and it's like I laughed. Phil's probably laughing. Like first of all, you don't own the IP. We can do what the fuck we want to with it. Why would we come to you after what you just did to us, right?
Pretty much.
Like why would we deal with you? We got all these fucking studios right now. We can just pick a person, you know, and make this game. Why would we come to Platinum Games for this? Like, so to me, I'll be thinking like, okay, if I was Phil, I'd be like, I'm not going to give you this game. And this is assuming they're even thinking about this right now. Why don't you try to make something for us on your own first, and then come back and talk to us? We're not going to give you this IP because we see what you did with it. But if you really want this, you need to do something else for us first. Make us a game on your own from scratch. Throw it on Xbox, and we'll talk. But if you can't do that, I ain't fucking throwing no more money at your ass. I want you to use the assets and the money we gave your ass before to do something for us before we give you more money to put in this game because they can put that game anywhere right now. So fuck them. I wouldn't even deal with them. Honestly, I wouldn't even fucking answer the phone call. But I mean, trying to think what the fuck else I got. I'm looking at Wikipedia and like it says Scalebound canceled. And like everything else shows like they released it. It came out to be announced, but I wouldn't deal with it, man. I wouldn't even like think twice about it. And then like the other part of it, like what's the Cliffy B? I think you said something earlier. I was like pouring a drink or something.
Lawbreakers,
And Cliffy B comes out like all this talk about Platinum Games and these dinosaurs and dragons and stuff. And I remember I had this game like Cliffy, you had your chance too, bro. Like you could have put that game. You could have put that same game that you put on fucking on PlayStation 5 on Xbox.
Lawbreakers.
Yeah, and it might have actually been successful, but instead you decided to trash Xbox. And the community of Xbox was like, dude, you help with Gears. Why would you do this to us? Fuck you. And the game ended up trash. I don't know if that's the reason why it trashed, but the game bombed. You know, and Lawbreakers actually was not a bad game. I
No, it
played
wasn't.
it.
I had
Wasn't
fun.
that
Yeah,
bad.
no, it wasn't. It was kind of fun.
Two to 8 players after like a month. Like
Yeah,
that's how
it,
bad
it
it was.
really. I played it on PC, and it really was not that bad.
It
But
wasn't bad at
like,
all.
I think it was his mouth, the way he marketed it, and you know, like,
And it was the company that it was the Nexon company that a lot of people were having problems with on the PC community that didn't trust them because I think they were Korean or I forgot. They're Asian company and there was people
yeah.
that
But
were
he comes
screwing
out
it
of
up.
the fucking woods, and he's like, yeah, I
Mhm.
tried to sell this game too. But like, do you try to sell it to Microsoft and 4 other companies too, and nobody wanted it? So obviously nobody wanted that fucking game. Like it looks cool, the concept art looks nice, but like don't come out the woodworks now that Scalebound's getting a little traction, and we don't want Scalebound on Xbox from that company, thinking that like you're gonna like sneak in and try and throw your game out there again. Like fuck every company that screws
These
Microsoft
guys
over.
these guys want some of that consistent Game Pass revenue is what's going
Well,
on,
yeah,
man.
they see that they have every opportunity. The thing is, they can make their own game and put it on Game Pass without Microsoft's. You know, they're just not going to get Scalebound. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, someone else is gonna get it. You can still make games. You can still make games and put them on Xbox. It just won't be that game. You know, and it's like they're not understanding that for some strange reason. Like you can put any game you want on Xbox, but it's not gonna be that game. And they see Microsoft throwing that bread out. You know, it's like going to a strip club and shit, and like there's this guy that looks like a fucking nerd, and like nobody wants to fucking talk to him, give him a lap dance and shit. And next thing you know, the motherfucker's making it rain, and now all the bitches he was trying to talk to before trying to come over and get that cash. That's how this dude looks right now.
Thirsty.
That's how he look right now. Like, oh shit, this motherfucker's got money. Like they knew Microsoft had money. They didn't think Microsoft was throwing it out at the time. Now they are, and now they want to come over and be like, yo, can I get a couple? Can I get a couple
Remember
dollars, man?
me?
Yeah, remember me? Throw me some tips.
Can
this
I
way.
get a drink? I'm thirsty.
Yeah, no problem. Glass of water over there. All right, that's it.
Damn, that's all you get? Dang.
Yeah, well, after
Sorry, Fahim. Lawbreakers on PS4. My bad. You know what the fuck I meant.
Yeah. But yo, K Mega, what do you think about this, man? I know you gotta have an opinion on this, bro.
Yeah, no, I mean, I talked about it last night. And for the people that watched this morning, no, absolutely not. You know, look, it was like what Dark was saying, just like what everybody else was saying. They've been hit and miss. They've had some really cool games, and then they had some clunkers, man. I mean, you know, the surprise making Grand Blue Fantasy, which is a fighter, really good game. But again, that game ain't on Xbox. That game was only on PlayStation and PC. Don't like that whatsoever. I mean, you know, especially a person that loves the fighters, but it's a really cool looking game. Got the same type of animations as Guilty Gear Strive. You know, they also did they did Vanquish and Bayonetta, which Bayonetta was huge. Vanquish was a low key really good game. Really enjoyed that. But like, you know, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Transformers game. I didn't get the Ninja Turtles game because the Transformers game kind of burned me. It was cool, but it wasn't. You know, you could tell it was low budget. I did like the Legend of Korra. I got that. I enjoyed that. I really do want to play Astro Chain though. Astral Train.
That's actually a good one.
Yeah,
Honestly,
I've heard really good things about that. Right. I think that's I've heard really good things about that game. And then of course they did Metal Gear Rise,
which was also
which is awesome.
Which was also made by Platinum Games. Used Microsoft money to make Astral Chain as well, guaranteed.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't. And you know what I mean? and then remember, listen. I mean, listen. It is so clear.
Xbox making the industry go forward, yo.
That man, and then that man said that he was stressed and he had to go on hiatus. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the dude said he in Dubai. He went to Paul. He went to Taiwan. He kicked it everywhere. Like
Dubai is not a cheap place either, bro. Like,
well, I mean, when Microsoft money, as much money as they gave for that game, like, I mean, I heard they gave that dude anywhere from $60 to $80 million for that game.
Mm-hmm.
That's you know what I'm saying, $60 to $80 million for that game. So of course you can do a lot of traveling and look, we seen what they did. Their baby was Nier Automata, and you can tell that they put a lot of work in Nier Automata. You know, and then they were just like, shit, we got these extra little funds. We can just throw that here and there. Listen, I said this, the only way for me to just for me to say I'm on board with this, if Platinum Games is want to be acquired, and if they get acquired, they will have a new head in charge. And what I said was that the way that I can see that, okay, you want to entice to have a bit, because you can have a really cool Japanese set of devs, because you got Tango Gameworks through the ZeniMax deal. You have that guy be the head of Platinum Games and let the other guy, the one that always opened his mouth and talk shit, you know, I can't think of his name right now, calling people cockroaches and shit. Let him sit there and be second or third command or whatever, because the other guy is cool acting. But again, their management has been awful, because it's just like what Dark was saying was, look, Babylon Falls, nobody's talking about Babylon Falls. No one. And that's management issues, hands down. Because if that game is going to be presented as an exclusive on the PlayStation 5, that game is supposed, you know, it's all about graphics with them. That game look like it would be something that came in the mid of last gen, or a port from the 360 PlayStation 3. It looks awful. Looks ashy as hell. So no, it does. It looks really ashy. So to me, it's like this, man. That's the only way. They would only have to be acquired, because listen, they got burned. You got to thank the Xbox movement from Platinum, Remedy, Insomniac, and Crytek. You got to, and also the people who made Crackdown 3. I can't think of what their names are right now.
Sumo Digital.
If it wasn't for them fucking the shit out of Microsoft, then, or I should say Xbox, and making Xbox look like a fool all of last gen, because they gave support to them, we wouldn't probably have this onslaught of Xbox acquiring these studios. Because at that point, I think the Crackdown 3 thing was, I think it probably started, it probably ended with Scalebound, with dealing with Platinum. But I know for sure it was the straw that broke the camel's back when after a Crackdown. Like, look, man, you know what? I can't. We're just gonna buy studios, and we're just gonna have
under
it.
our umbrella.
No second party, third party. No middleman, no more. We're just gonna just acquire you. So that's the only way that I can see them doing it. Now, look, I know Phil's a really good guy. I know that you know, there's a lot of you know, there's people that have these conversations. You know, you have steak dinner, you sit back, you talk, you chill. And I see this thirst from that crew out there from Platinum Games. But the point of the matter is that, look, man, you burned them so bad, and then you allowed Phil and Xbox brand get railroaded, not only by the media, but by Xbox gamers, by PlayStation gamers, by Nintendo gamers. The whole community was just dogging out Xbox, and you didn't take responsibility until like 2 years later. You didn't come out and say, you know what, it was my fault. Now you over here screaming and crying and saying, oh yeah, no, it was our fault. It was, you know, it was on me. It was on me. But you wasn't saying it when the heat was on, because, you know, you had all these other games and you wanted to tout what you were doing, because the money that you got, you had some bangers at that time. Look at that stretch. They had Nier Automata. They had Astro Train. They had another game that came out, and then they went out there and then tried to fuck up the community by saying, look, let's do a Kickstarter for 101, for Wonderful 101. Like, I mean, like, they got so big-headed, and then dude over here drunk, you know what I'm saying, like, talk about, Phil, let's get Scalebound again. And then, man, bro, no, let that go. It feels like, look, the only way you'll do that, is if I got this for you. You know what I'm saying? You want to be purchased, we got you. And then we're gonna have our dude at Tango be in charge, make sure that they'll watch over y'all silly asses and make sure that y'all do the job right. That's the only way I can see it. If not, then no.
Was the dude drunk when he started tweeting that shit out though?
I don't know if he was drunk, but when he was tweeting that stuff out, but he was lit because remember, I was like, what in the hell, dude was sitting here with a glass, you know what I'm saying, had a glass, the other people that were celebrating, I forgot what they were celebrating. But then dude was over here like, yeah, let's just give me some, hey, Phil Spencer, let me go ahead and get that scale bound again. Come on, Microsoft. What?
We need that
bro. Bro.
That's how you know that they're running out of money is when like popped again.
The thirst is real now. Like, yeah, I mean, I think now, like, I mean, because really, if you think about it, the only people that's really dealing with them right now is Nintendo because they're making Bayonetta 3, and so it looks like because remember last gen, for the last 15 years, you go back to 360 PlayStation 3 era. They made a lot of games, and then they were making quite a few games last gen. That kind of just ceased to now only just having a few games. So it might be that the industry themselves is like, you know what, they're hit or miss. It's too much money to pay for these games, and then shit, what they did to Phil, man, and Xbox, bro. I don't know if we could trust them. So maybe they're looking at it, they're seeing the sign, the sign on the wall, like, look, man, we need to go ahead and apologize for our fuck up.
You know, I am all for forgiveness, but forgiveness does not mean forgetfulness. You know what I'm saying? You don't put yourself in that same situation that you got burnt at before. Just kind of like your ex. You could be cool with your ex. You could be friends with your ex. That don't mean that you're gonna like, you know, be doing a whole Netflix and chill with her at some point in time and get caught up in that trap again either. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, that time is past. I think, man, if Phil ever wanted to, you know, pour a little salt into that wound real quick, he would revive Scalebound. But again, like people on the panel have said, yo, Xbox has so many first-party development studios now, and once this Activision Blizzard thing goes through, we're gonna have even more. I think we're talking like 32 studios under their belt. Like, you can definitely get one to kind of like fit that mold to make a game like that. You know what I'm saying? Out of like 32 studios.
Honestly, I could see Beanox doing it. To be honest,
okay.
Yeah. Because they made the Crash Bandicoot game, and then they also made the Transformers War for Cybertron games.
I got you. Yeah. When it comes down to it, I like the way that Scalebound looked. I like the look of the dragons, having the different types of dragons and stuff like that. So I would want them, of course.
I was hyped for that game.
Yeah.
Boy, I was hyped. When Rand talked to me, man, he says, "Mega, I think it's not going to happen." I said, "Man, don't say that, Rand. Do not." He like, man, nah, man, it just ain't. I was legitimately hurt for about 6 months. I really was hurt. I mean, because that was the dark time of Xbox when it came down to like exclusives and games and shit, and and I'm over here still talking I'm making fighting a good fight. And, I got to get on BGST and hear this bullshit and listen to the comment section and like, bro, I'm over here like, man, you know what? I was legitimately hurt for a while, man. I was pissed. I was hurt. So, but it was one of those things to me. It's like, because I really wanted to play that game so bad. Like, I'm like, this is exactly what Xbox needs. And even if that game was not up to par, it looked like it was one of those service games, like we see with State of Decay and with Sea of Thieves. Just imagine what that game the potential of what it could be now, if it was one of those games as a service. I think that's where they were going with it, but I mean, we will never know, man. It was just they said it was too ambitious for them. But the fact of it was to see when somebody tells you that there's something that's too ambitious, and then now you're saying you see that Microsoft is slinging out these billions, and then now they're like, oh well, shit, maybe we can get back into good graces. But I know that they're remembering what all that they said to try to get out from people from people attacking them. So yeah, no, I'm with everybody else. No, just moving on, keep it moving.
Just keep it moving, yeah. And the funny thing is, within that time, you never saw like Platinum really extend an olive branch in kind of like games that they were developing. You know what I'm saying? You never saw them come out and say anything decent about making a game for Xbox, or you didn't see their games head into Xbox and kind of like the lead developer being excited about that. Like they never extended an olive branch to kind of mend the wounds from the.
It was mostly Microsoft and Phil Spencer who came out and was like, "Yeah, we got Scalebound," and he was excited about it. And then they did that to him, and he was like,
"Well, at that E3, that year, they had it closed off, and only a few people got a chance to play it, and that's why I came up with that saying, like, the damn dragon was doing the hammer dance because the shit was broken, it wasn't working right, and so they didn't present it. It was supposed to be presented then at that E3, and it didn't. So, because. And that's when like Ren and them knew. They knew. I could believe it, man. My heart was broke. It really was. Delilah HD's heart was broke too. That's what made me decide, like, hey man, I got to get her on GRG because she feels my pain. She made a long video talking about her pain about that game not getting up there, bro. That shit was painful, boy. Painful time.
Yo, shout out to RG Viper. He says, to forgive is divine, but never pay full price for late pizza.
Talk true. About it. I know. That's all right. That's all right there.
Well, guys, if everybody got to chime in on this, I believe I got across the panel on this. I thought it was absolutely hysterical. Like, I thought it was a joke at first. When I first saw that, but I was like, oh no, this dude's serious. I'm like, oh no, you're not allowed in this VIP room anymore, bro. You got drunk, you slapped the bartender, you threw shit, and now you're not allowed back in here, man. That's what it is. But yo, I gotta say, huge shout out to the chat. You guys have been absolutely incredible as usual. Huge shout out to the panel. I love that these guys are willing to deal with me on a weekly basis when it comes down to it, man. I think we had an amazing show. Like I said, there was a lot of stuff to talk about, a lot of strong opinions on this show. So if you are new to this show, definitely tune in. I love to see new people in the chat. If you're checking the show out after it aired live, if you're doing the whole YouTube thing, you can't make it. Whenever you get a free Thursday, come and check us out. Come hang out with the chat. As you can see, it is a lot of fun. Again, this is unfortunately Dark Optimus's last show on the next podcast, unless you talk to Pred or Crispy and they say, last show for now. So. Dark.
I'm actually even gonna say that as myself, because you never know. Might be where there's gonna be a day where I can come on and do it. I'll let you know though. You know me.
You'll be back. You want to see Daddy's
dick? Oh,
I don't know about all that. I mean, I don't even get that with the OnlyFans. Oh shit,
I say, hold up, wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Well, Dark, I gotta say, first off, man, definitely appreciate all your dedication to the show. When it comes down to it, man, I know, you work in the movie business, and I know there are definitely times within your career that you have to juggle a lot of different things. No puns, Predator. No jokes on that one. But when it came down to it, man, you've always been a. Oh my
I think you guys want me to do porn. That's what I think you guys are hoping that I do porn.
Wow.
I've never seen you on screen, but hey.
No, not see me on screen. I think you guys are just hoping that. That's what
I saw another head. No.
Oh shoot.
But nah.
So are you gonna do it?
Oh wow.
Am I gonna do what? No.
In all seriousness, though, bro, you've always been a valuable part of this show, and not only that, man, you're just a good friend. Even though you don't like playing multiplayer games, so it gets a little hard to play games with you at points in time, but you're definitely
Xbox.
yeah,
Just kidding.
forever on PlayStation. It's like guys, come play Little Big Planet with me, and we're like, come on, really?
Oh shit.
But bro,
man.
well, I guess this is your final outro, at least for now, man. What do you got for the chat?
Yeah, you guys can find me on Twitter, Darkonimus. You can also find
Shut
me
the
on
fuck up.
Wow.
find me on Xbox Live and PlayStation at the same name, but I won't be on for a while. So I mean, it's gonna be a while before I get to play any games. It's a good thing, but yet it kind of sucks because it's like, man, there's a lot of games that are coming out that I really want to play, but yeah, man, I'm excited for what's coming down the pipeline, and I hopefully I can share that with you guys on Twitter, but with NDAs and things like that, it's it's a little tricky. But yeah, man, I've always loved being on this podcast with you guys. We've had some good times, we had some crazy times, and we've had some not so good times. But yeah, man, it was a blast for
Nice.
sure.
And Dark, I don't know if you notice this, and I don't know if this is just balanced throughout the world, but of that time when 2 panel members walked off the show.
Yeah, I was
Those
one
2
of them.
panel members
One of
are
them.
not
Yeah.
going to be on the show anymore. You were one of them,
Yeah.
brother.
Yeah.
Dude,
I was like, that was crazy. And I think I was just like, man, fuck you guys.
fuck this
that
shit,
point.
I'm out.
I was like, man, fuck you guys, man. It's just bullshit. And then I realized, oh yeah, it's not really that big of a deal.
So
But
now, bro, since I can't mess with you every Thursday, I can't pick on you every Thursday. You will find me on Twitter, throwing that shit at you on Twitter. I just want to let you know it doesn't stop just because you're not here on Thursday. So now I'm gonna have to spread it throughout the week on Twitter, tagging
well, don't
you
expect
in
me
some
to
crazy shit.
answer right away. Just so you know, I might
Don't
not.
worry, I have almost 6,000 followers, so guess what? People will also answer for you. Okay? And
That is true.
but nah, bro,
Very
it's
true.
been a blast, man. Do what you got to do.
Sure.
I guess you're going to be directing your own movies now. That's what it is. And
Someday, hopefully soon, but we'll see.
nice, brother. All right, so let's go next on the list, and we will have Pred follow that up. Yo, Predator, what do you got for an outro, bro?
Well, first of all, Dark is really leaving because he's getting locked up. So
That's
why
what
he's
it
going to be
is.
gone for a while. No one wanted to
Oh.
What am I getting locked up for? That's
I
the
don't
real
know. I mean, you didn't want to discuss it with us. I'm not going to air out your dirty laundry like that. But you can't be like, I'm going to be gone for a while. Typically, that means like
I got caught watching.
I just did a
I'm gonna be
settlement.
gone
and
for a while,
I gotta
about
sit.
3 to 5.
I gotta sit in jail for 6 months. You know,
You ain't going to do shit.
so that's where Dark's going. He ain't doing nothing. Motherfucker's just going to jail. Watching kitty porn or something. I don't know what's going on.
Gee.
But,
God. Whoa.
He'll be back. I'm sure he'll be back for a couple of shows. Like once PlayStation picks up a new studio or something, he'll pop his ass back in here. Just to brag and talk shit. Yeah, look, motherfuckers, we got Platinum Games. So, but yeah, it's a good podcast with you, Dark, man. Like I said, I know we'll still talk to you and stuff like that. I mean, if you're gonna come back on the show, you gotta do a pants off dance off for K Mega on live video. Outside of that, man. See y'all next week, man. Nothing else going on. Good. Have a good weekend. Watch the Super Bowl. Go Cincinnati.
Go Cincy. Yes, let's go Bengals, baby. Let's go Bengals.
I'm like flabbergasted right now. I can't believe this slander against my man.
That's some bullshit.
Bengals got better
slander
defense,
right
bro. They got better defense.
What?
Go Bengals, and you know, and you guys were talking shit about the Cowboys last week.
I'm just gonna let you guys talk your shit. That's all I'm gonna do.
You already had your outro.
You know who's
you
gonna
already
win
had your outro, so shut the fuck up.
You know who's gonna win the Super Bowl? The refs are.
Not Dallas.
Go team refs.
The refs.
Go referees.
They're gonna win the Super Bowl next year, where it's at AT&T Stadium.
All right, so we got the professional YouTubers, the professional podcasters here. Let's go Crispy on this one. Crispy, man, I saw you tweeted earlier. You definitely have a show tomorrow. Let people know about that, and of course where to find you, bro. And if you want to throw any more shade at Dark, now's the time.
No shade. I don't think I would be on this podcast if it wasn't for Dark.
Oh, look at that!
I don't know if that's completely
no shade.
true.
No. You both confirmed it over a few too many times. You know, in the next we call the pre-show, as we like to call it. You know, you both confirmed it to me simultaneously that, you know, if Dark didn't say, "Hey, have Crispy on," way back. I mean, what has it been? 3.5 years now. You know what I mean?
Yo, hold on, Crispy, real quick, Iceman. Hold on, real quick, Iceman in the chat. You're gonna like this. He said Halo is trash and Gears will win the Super Bowl.
Yes, Gears always wins the Super Bowl. The one thing I'll say is that, you know, Dark, you said the last time you left that, you know, I should be on, and I'll just be waiting like in the year, and I'll see you then. I love you all. Right. I love you all. Dark always has it. I'll tell you right now, like, I'll probably get him on my podcast when I get it going before anything else, because, you know, it's gonna be Console Clash, and I gotta have the Optimus, the Angry Otter, on here. But Christy Bomb on Twitter, Christy Bomb 28 Xbox Live. Find me at Breakfast of Boom tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. We have Retro Renegades, 7 p.m. Tuesday night. And of course, you can find me back here on the next podcast, 8 p.m. prime time.
Prime time. That is right, man. Yeah. Let's see. K Mega, you got a show tomorrow as well. Not only that, you are all over the place. You're trying to compete over there in the Twitch space. We got to know how that's going. And of course, you know, now's your time. You know, get some final shots in on Dark Optimus, man.
Yeah, no, it's been a pleasure, Dark. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Should have known something was going on when you left the GRG DM, but it's all good. You know but no, it's
actually, you know what? I left that because you kept blowing up my phone, dude, and I was like, everybody.
When they get into it,
I'm just like,
yeah.
I'm
when
like,
they get into a conversation,
dude,
I don't.
Dying over here.
Yeah, no. So, but no, it's great. Yeah, because when they get into a conversation, and I come in, and I'm usually late to the party because they always make fun of me. He's like, "Oh, Mega, they ain't even around. He don't even know what's going on." Until then, I read through the shit. I'm like, "Oh my god, what's going on?" But yeah, no. That's why my notification sound is off. So because it would be going crazy sometimes. But
Dark's like, you can shut the notification off. What?
I can shut. I turn the sound down where I don't ever hear it. You know, I just, you know. But whatever.
Yeah, I do that. I do that with my Twitter. Otherwise, my phone will only last like half a
Yeah,
day before I have to charge it.
same as well. But it was a pleasure, man. I know that you got things you got to take care of, man. So do that, man. It's been an honor, man. I really do appreciate it. And listen, no, what I'm saying, it's much love. I'm going to constantly give you shit just like I always do, but it is what it is. It is what it is. So take that.
I'm just going to say this right now. I'm probably going to go to GRG first, and then I'll come to next.
That's probably the best bet for you. But anyway, but no, I wish you well on whatever you got going on, brother, man. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks, man.
So much love to you. You know what I'm saying? First, before I get to doing my soliciting, I gotta give a big apology to everybody who was listening. Listen, I think that this probably would have been the biggest GRG of all time. But
and he fucked it up.
But I fucked it up because because I got so wasted. And in my explanation, I'm going to explain it too on the GRG when I start GRG. But I had some really distressing news about my mother, and when I just went and I got a bottle, I was like, you know what, I should cancel the show. But I had so many good guests, and I didn't know if they were going to come back again. So I was like, all right, let's just roll through it. And while I was doing the show, I was sitting here trying to get my mind off of the situation with from what the doctors was talking to me about my mom and stuff. And so I just got wasted. And so I just know that, like, when I sit there and when I was done, I was like, I woke up and I said, what the hell happened? Because I forgot
white girl
everything.
wasted.
I got white girl wasted, bro. And so I go and listen to the last minute or two. And I said, oh my God. I was already at like close to 900 views in less than 24 hours. That has never happened before. I was like, I'm delete because I'm like, hell with that. So I have a backup. So I have a backup, but I cut out the about an hour and a half of me just going on drunk rants, and then went ahead and so for the people who caught it live, hey, y'all say I was chill, but regardless of it, I don't even like that. I do want to have some form of professionalism, so I do apologize for that. I just had things about my mom on my mind. I was trying to erase it, and so I gotta do better than that. But yeah, but it was a fun show. So for you guys and I re-upped it up. So if you guys want to go check it out, it was really good fun conversations. But yeah, this coming up week, we're going to have a floor hugger. She said she's coming on. And then Zobi 70 is going to come back on. So I know I didn't go too far left. so it's going to be fun. But yeah, man, thank you guys for coming and checking it out, supporting. So come check it out, the GRG podcast tomorrow night, Fight Night Sunday. We'll be there. So yeah, ain't no drinking until now. I will drink on Super Bowl. There will be no Fight Night Sunday because I'm going to have people over and stuff like that. So I think we're going to.
Hold on, when's the Super Bowl? Is it next weekend?
This coming up Sunday. Yeah,
Sunday?
So
I'm going to root for the Rams just for Dark. I'm going to root for the Rams. Not you,
so you know what I'm saying? So yeah, oh my God. So I'm a huge Ram fan. Been a Ram fan since the 80s, man. We going back to the Eric Dickerson days, man. I went through all types of hell.
I was born, so
well, that's when I started watching football. So back in the mid 80s, early 80s, mid 80s. So I was real young, but regardless of that, man, yeah, thank you guys for coming and checking us out. I'll be here next week for some stupid ass reason. I need to be going here and giving my resignation. I've been waiting for my nickels and dimes for the last 7 years, but thank you guys so much. Dark, like I said, wish you luck, brother.
Actually paid me.
Yo, Dark. We don't talk about that in public, bro. What did I tell you, man? Damn. Anyway, on that note, people, again, shout out to the chat, yo. It has been an absolute blast, yo. You will find us here every Thursday, 8 p.m., which is what, Crispy?
Prime time.
That is right, brother.
It ain't the Lord's time, but it's somewhat prime time. Let's go.
It's prime time. But thank you guys so much for all the support, all the love, and if you haven't done it yet, definitely hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed, definitely subscribe. As you can see, for some rhyme or reason, just my honest opinions seem to cause a bit of waves on social media. So if you're not following me there, it is at xbot448 on Twitter. I just deal with one social media at a time. I tried doing Facebook and Twitter. Man, I'm not gonna spend my entire life like staring at my cell phone and commenting on stuff. But I am there on Twitter, so you can follow me there. But we will see you guys next week for the next podcast. Have a great night, everybody.
Everybody have a good one. Oh, before we get out of here.
Welcome to the Come Zone.
Oh!
Welcome.
The voice of Master Chief, Spartan 117. And you're tuned in to next podcast. Now, wake me when you need me.